Okay. Is there anyone here in the audience who is new? You don't have to raise your hand. You can choose to lurk anonymously. But if anyone is here for the first time, welcome. But I'm going to assume for now that it's mostly folks who've been here before. I think this is kind of an obscure little indie game, I think. And so I assume that probably the folks who are going to come and watch a game like this are the folks that are going to be hanging out with me anyway. But just in case this is your first time watching me, as a reminder to everybody else, I like to talk a lot. I like to talk a lot about story and character and writing and things like that, directly related to the game. But also I will sometimes take things from the game itself, and then kind of spiral off into talking about something else in the real world. So if you are not looking for a chatty game playing experience, this may not be for you. But if you do like it when people talk about stuff a lot, you have come to the right place, my friend. I have a pretty strict no backseating policy and a very strict no spoiler policy. If I need questions answered, if I'm stuck or I want to know something and it's not a question, a rhetorical question, I will put this hat on my head. This is chat hat, and the chat hat indicates that chat, you are in fact allowed to answer my question within the constraints of my question. I will tell you exactly what the constraints are of the question, whether it is that I am requesting a hint coup, which is a hint in the form of a haiku. Please confer with the rest of chat about that in our stream spoilers chat on Discord. Sometimes I will have a yes or no question. Sometimes I will be like, these three answers, like which of these three things I'm saying is true. I will put the parameters of the question. I ask you to please respect that. We're very cool and very gay here. Yes. Other than that, I don't know that I have any things to fill in on. As far as what I know about this game in particular, I think it's a visual novel. I know it's story focused. I assume that we are in a science fictional universe in which humans or humanoids or whatever our people are people, maybe not humans, people have settled on another planet, hence exocolonist, meaning like a colonist like outside. But I don't know really much more about it than that. I don't even know if I know who made it. I know Finji published it, and they tend to publish high quality games. Do I know where I heard of this game? No. Do I know anything about this game? No. It does have content warnings here on this page, which could mean that they are very, very cautious and want to make absolutely sure that everyone is as safe as possible. Or it could mean that this game goes some dark places, and they want to make sure that we know that. Now, I assume that if we're going to walk into one of my known content warning issues, anyone who has familiarity with this game may be able to give me a notification on that. How many of you have played this game before? Like, do we have a knowledgeable and experienced audience that's like, yes, I am a Teenage Exocolonist pro? Oh man, a few folks who know maybe even less than me. Okay, so we do have some experienced folks, including Nick, who is one of our mods. So that means that if I wander into unsafe territory, I would ask you to give me advance notice if you think that I'm walking towards it. We could take a look at content warnings, but I'd prefer to go in blind. I don't think this game is going to really trigger any of my personal issues in a major way, so I think I'm probably fine, but we'll see. I do really appreciate and respect that they have that option, though, because a lot of times you do need to know kind of to keep yourself safe. And I wholeheartedly support and encourage people to do so and keep themselves safe. In my case, like I said, I have the feeling that this game is not going to push me past my limits. That may change. If I play a little bit of it and get the sense that it's a lot more darker and more serious than I anticipate, I may go back and check those content warnings. But for now, I feel like I'm probably safe. We'll see. I just really like, I really like going in blind. I like not knowing what I'm getting into, which is why I don't know anything about this game. So without further ado, let's dive in. Okay, this feels to me kind of visual novel-esque, so perhaps my gut is correct. I will be reading my choices out loud. If dialogue is not voiced, I will be voicing the dialogue. That's been requested as an accessibility feature. I am not an actor, but I will do my best. All right. This is really cool. It's very simple effects, but it gives you the impression of space, but like artsy space. I like that. Yes, and if viewers are worried about content warning, I guess I will just say if you want to have discussions about this game outside of the context of our chat right here, we have a Discord. There are a series of channels on the Discord exclusively about the streams, so you can ignore everything else if you want to. There is the stream chat channel, which I go to, which is usually to discuss things that are going on with streams. There's stream news, where I'm the only person who can post, I think, and I post when I go live. And then there's a stream spoilers channel, which you don't have to get permission for. You pop in there and there'll be a different chat thing, like a conversation basically for each game I play. So you could just pop in and go there. So if you have questions or if you have concerns about content warnings and things like that, you can always post in stream chat and just ask, be like, can anybody answer questions about content warnings? But use Discord spoiler tags if you don't mind. Other than that, I think we will. Oh, and apparently the content warning list is available on their website as well. So you can follow the link that Nick, I'm sorry, Nick. I don't know what it's called when you insert part of a word, the previous word into the later word by accident, but it happens. That's okay. Blue Glass, are you here? We've been doing a lot of music stuff. I work for a music company, and I've been writing about bluegrass music a lot lately. And every time I say the word out loud, it comes out bluegrass, and I just pretend that it's just me stumbling over the word, and not that I've actually had a series of years of saying bluegrass out loud and not bluegrass. Variation on a spoonerism, maybe so. So if this is the first time you've seen me stream, or the first time in a long time, this gives you an idea of what you're getting into. This kind of chatty. We're a little chatty. Lazalia, thank you for following. All right. So, all that said, we are here. Oh, that's delightful, Blue Glass. Okay, well, I'm delighted by that. Well, your name now is the dominant form of pronouncing that word as far as I'm concerned, apparently. Okay, so I'm going to dive into this game and we'll see kind of what happens. My options are wake up. I do not appear to have any other options, so I will choose this. Oh, well, there we go. Warning, this game deals with mature subjects and may not be suitable for all players. Please see our content warnings in the system menu for a detailed list of themes and events. Well, perhaps I should do that. Should I do that? Do you folks think I should do that? Oh, geez. You wake to chaos, a confusion of light and heat and smoke. Fire. Well, there is one of my personal phobias. Great. Click to continue. This all looks hand-drawn. I'm sorry, I know that it's a fire and I have a phobia of fire, but it looks like they drew that with a pen and then watercolored around it. And that's cool. Also, fire's not supposed to be that. That doesn't look like good fire. I mean, It's in a building. It's not gonna fire. Click to continue. Your head is pounding. You must have hit it and blacked out, but you aren't sure how you got here or what on Vertumna is happening. There's something important you need to remember. Your stomach lurches as the floor crumbles beneath your feet, then collapses. Oh, there's a person who's coming to rescue me. This is beautiful art. It's really effective. Your body aches and your eyes burn from the smoke. A figure appears through the flames. It's your friend. Your friend? Wait, why can't you remember her name? She's gesturing and shouting at you, but all you hear is ringing in your ears. I can ask a question or I can climb out. Man, I have not yet decided if I am going to roleplay this, in which case I'm getting the hell out of the fire, or trying to get the most out of the game experience, in which case I should ask. But I can't hear anything, so I might just climb out because I don't want to die. And this is my friend, and I know her. And it doesn't appear that we actually have a timer going off, which is really good to know because, like, I'm going to talk a lot. Okay. It's a really interesting design. I'm sorry. Sure, no, let's see what happens. We're gonna find out. We're gonna get a feel for, like, the flavor of how choice making happens in this game. What's going on? You try to speak, but the words come out jumbled. Your throat seizes around a lungful of choking smoke, and you feel dizzy and confused. Take 1 damage. Your friend pulls you out of the rubble. She throws your arm over her shoulder and half drags you towards the door. Oh, this is really effective way of making the graphics something that they can do. They've just done paintings instead of having to, like, 3D model stuff. Through it, you see a deep, eerie twilight, dark blue and cold against the heat of the fire around you. Glow season. Okay. I think we're not on Earth. Glowing eyes! You shake your head to clear your vision. Is that some kind of dog? Like, from Earth? It's making doggy noises, but it looks a little scary. The creature howls and lunges, its jaws open. I was a Teenage Exocolonist. Title screen. God, the art is so good. It's, like, distractingly good. I'm sorry. Also, the music's really cool. I want to, like, pick apart the things that it's doing that are cool because they're so cool. I want to point out what I think about them and make sure that other people are appreciating them too. But I also really want to know what's happening. I guess we're here to talk, right? Okay, so, like, all of the art is, like, perfectly proportioned and, like, the line weight and line texture is just delicious. The instrumentation in the music is fascinating because you've got some organic sounds, but then a bunch of sounds that are similar, for example, to what you might hear in FTL that are very, this is science fiction. Which, like, also, I mean, that's such hand-drawn art. And then you've got these, like, very virtual textures. And the combination of that and the hand-drawn art and the, like, the UI, like, text background is very, like, clean, precise, and scientific. Like, the combination of organic and technological is really interesting. And then, what a beginning! Like, what an introduction! Hello! You have got my attention, game! And not just because they decided to put me in something that's very scary for Lawrence. No, this doesn't have the vibe of Ben Prunty, and I would have heard him talk about it, I think, because I follow him, and I know him well enough that I think I would know if he'd worked on this. But it does sound like there might... They at the very least, they may have similar... They may be inspired by some of the same things that inspired him, if that makes sense. But yeah, I wonder whether this juxtaposition of organic and technological is what we're going to be doing a lot of in this game. But okay, so I think what we had happening here is we had this like little in media res section in the middle of the action. Things are happening. How did we get here? Who are we? What's happening? I don't know. And then it seems like we die. And then we come back to what appears to be the past. Maybe we will see our lives flash before our eyes. And that's what we're going to be experiencing here. Oh, hi, Bunny Couture. Hello. I'm glad to see you here, Bex. Welcome. I'm really excited. This game has made a very strong impression so far. We may look at the content warnings since they told me that they deal with serious subjects. But yeah, so I'm wondering, sorry, do you mind if I speculate just a little bit? I just really enjoy doing it. Even if I'm watching a bad movie or reading a dumb book, I still start trying to take it apart a little bit. I really enjoy it. I know that this game has like story choices that you can make, which is why I think it thought it was like a visual novel. So my idea as far as what I think they're setting up here. Oh, welcome, Whooper. Thank you. So I wonder if the gimmick here is going to be that you have this is how you die moment. And then here, maybe we're going to start with our character's birth and make choices throughout their life to get us back to the present and then see what happens from there. And maybe there's different paths that can take. And maybe that little intro section that we saw has very different contexts and meanings that it could have. That would be really, really interesting. And that would be something you can only do in an interactive medium, which would be fascinating. Okay. Are we ready to dive in? We already know that Earth exists in this game. But we know that at least in that flash forward scene, we were not on Earth. We know that we will have friends and allies, which I'm glad this is not going to be that kind of a grimdark game. It doesn't feel like a grimdark game. But shall we see what they've got in store for us? And see if, at this point, I have no actual expectations that my guesses will have anything to do with anything. I'm just like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if a game did this? Maybe this game is going to do this thing. All right. You are born on the Stratospheric, Earth's first colony ship, halfway through its 20-year voyage to a wormhole at the edge of the Sol system. Yes, Blue Glass, this would not be the first time that has happened. The music stopped because I talked too long. Okay, so we have a colony ship, and it's not a full generational colony ship, and it's not a cryogenic colony ship, which if you have a massive distance to travel in science fiction, those are usually our two options. A generational ship, which is that this ship is prepared to sustain people for a long period of time and to be like self-repairing and stuff. And generations of humans will be born, grow up, birth the new generation and die. And it will just continue through in a cycle until we eventually arrive where we're colonizing. And then the descendants of the original colonist ship, or the original ship passengers will be the colonists. And then there's the cryogenic ones, which is the people who sign up to be the colonists are in cryogenic sleep, going through for however long it is. And then when they land, an automatic waking procedure happens. And then those colonists themselves are the ones in the colony. Those are primarily what you hear. In this case, it's just a really, really long voyage, but not a generationally long voyage. 20 years, to a wormhole at the edge of the Sol system. So the Sol system means that it's our system, Earth's system, is a wormhole. But what is beyond the wormhole? How long is this voyage going to be? Do we know? Are we crazy scientists? We'll find out. Apparently, we are having children on this colony, so maybe it will be a generational ship. Let's find out. ... Oh, they're cool looking. Oh, I love the art in this game so much. Wow. I've seen a lot of indie games that have art that I'm really not impressed with and I have to be really polite about, but this is really good. All right. Your parents run the hydroponic gardens, which make fresh air and vegetables for the ship. Like the other colonists, they bravely chose to make this one-way journey to the uncharted planet Vertumna 4 in the hope they could escape Earth's troubles. They had you the old-fashioned way, merging their genes like they merged their cultures and traditions. They name you... Oh my goodness. Amazing. Okay. This is fantastic writing. Like, fantastic writing right off the bat. I'm sorry, I'm going to be plucking out the little details that they're laying down so well. When you're writing a story that is not taking place in our place and time, there are so many ways that you can share information with your audience so that they can kind of get their bearings. And there's a lot of graceless ways to do so. But this is very gracefully done for what it is. I mean, it is explaining. This is telling a story rather than us experiencing it. But rather than saying, this is what's happening, here are the details, we're able to tell, first of all, like we can kind of tell how the ship runs and things like that. We're getting a sense for the feeling. But saying they had you the old-fashioned way, where they merged your genes, indicates that there is an alternative to an alternative form of childbirth that is more common, which is interesting. Also, it talks about merging their cultures and traditions. So I take a look at them, and I do not recognize either of their styles, like culturally. Like these extended lobe piercings are very distinctive, and the tattoos on the mother are very distinctive and interesting, but they're not quite like anything I've ever seen. I mean, if anything, it kind of like the way that the line work is done makes me think of henna, but the design itself I'm not sure does. But it's fascinating, all of this. Like, okay, this is my planet, Earth, that is troubled. Yes, Earth is troubled. But these are not cultures I know. This is not going to be the direct sequel to the world as I know it. So that's very interesting. So then I get to pick my name. So I am going to choose things that I think I am going to actually tell my character's story a bit. I like the name Solana. I like it. It's Solana CA. I don't know how to say that. That looks Latin. Solan, and then something else. And I'm going to pick one of their predetermined names for my first playthrough, at least. We're going to go with Solana because I like it. I've got no better reason than that. Also because I feel more confident in saying it. Whereas these other two, I'd have to think real hard about what the intent is. Like, is this Solane? And I don't know. So I'm going to go with Solana. Oh my God. This is amazing. You're a bright-eyed child with an active imagination. Sometimes too active, your mom says. Use the sliders on the left to choose pronouns and late teens appearance. These can be changed at any time. So you can rename your character. No, no, no. I'm gonna keep the name. How do I... How do I shift that? These can be changed at any time. Oh, that's neat. Also, yes, blue hair and pronouns, indeed. Ah, I see. Got it. I have 2 sticks. I'm gonna do that. We're gonna go here. I like that. This also gives me an idea of how to play the game. Okay. If you set pronouns in the middle, you can do full custom neo-pronouns. Oh, nice. Excellent. Let's just look around where we are. We've got like a little robot companion. This appears to be the nursery. I assume this is not specifically Solana's nursery. I assume this is the nursery shared by children on the ship. But got children's safety scissors. There's a sock on the floor. Those appear to be chocolate chip cookies. Like, there's something really nice about the combination of things that are familiar and things that are unfamiliar. Like, I immediately look at this and register that this is the nursery. You know, the colors tell me. The way that the shelves are set up tell me. There's crayons and scissors that look familiar. There's chocolate chip cookies that look familiar. But then, of course, there's things that are not exactly the same. Interesting that they've got blue skies on the wall around, you know? I like that. All right. I'm going to go ahead and ... You have vivid dreams of things you've never experienced. Dirt under your feet, skies overhead, endless jungles, and strange animals. You wonder if this is what Vertumna will be like. I do wonder what that's like. I find that absolutely fascinating. The idea of kids hearing stories about what life was like on a planet and imagining what life would be like, seeing pictures. Like, do you have dreams of those things? Is there something intrinsic to humanity? Do we have some sort of a collective genetic memory that that would make those things live in your imagination with any real accuracy? I don't know. Okay, so I think I might have hit the nail on the head in guessing how this was going to work. Look at this. Over on the side, empathy, persuasion, creativity, and bravery. That's your heart options. Oh, no, that's your talking options. Okay, I got it. I wouldn't have thought of creativity as a talking option. But maybe that's the thing. I think social. We'll go with social, which is interesting that bravery counts as social. And then we've got the brain ones: reasoning, organizing, engineering, and biology. And then at the bottom, toughness, perception, combat, and animals. Animals. Okay. Well, what's interesting here is that the brain one has 2 like thinking skills and 2 knowledge groups. Because reasoning and organizing are skills, ways of thinking. And engineering and biology are like stuff that you learn and understand. Like basically those are things that you know more. And reasoning and organizing are more things that you do, if that makes sense. So it's interesting. It's super interesting. Toughness, perception, combat, and animals. This is basically just anything that's physical. Which animals counts as. Which I would imagine that animals, if it has to do with your skill with animals, would actually go more in the social section. And I would think that creativity would actually go in your brain section. So I would have organized this differently, but they have reasons, I'm sure, that their systems are built the way they are. So we'll see. You have to make decisions like that when you design games. Okay. So I have a set design or group of designs that I can have. Okay, so up at the top here we have like settings, heart, photos, which is probably like look through your friends. You can have the likes. Maybe that's how popular you are on the ship. There's your mood between happy and not happy. Oh. And then there's a white flag or a fist. Peace or fighting. That's an interesting one. Vertumna sounds like a combination of green and autumn. So there's probably something Latin going on there. Oh, okay. Every child on the stratospheric is given one genetic enhancement. By age 6, you see the first signs of yours. That's interesting. You get to choose your dominant trait, or you could have none at all. Oh, that's interesting. All right. Eagle eyes, extra fingers, absorbent brain, super strength, calm temperament, or nothing at all. Okay, Lauren, what are we going to do? How are we going to play this? I am most interested in absorbent brain. I think. I'm also interested in eagle eyes if it were a social thing, but it seems to be down there in the bottom, so it's probably more likely to keep me alive. If I were to play something the opposite of me, I could pick calm temperament. I have big feelings. I don't think so. Super strength, I'm never interested. Sorry, never interested in this. Extra fingers sounds complicated. Plus then you have to worry about what would happen to those extra fingers. Like I'm already stressed out thinking about what's going to happen to my normal fingers. Don't give me more fingers to get nervous about. So we're either between eagle eyes or absorbent brain because you can't genetically enhance compassion. Eagle eyes or absorbent brain? I think I'm going to go with absorbent brain. Professor Hal says kids learn fast because their brains are like sponges, but when people get older, they can't absorb as much stuff. Not for you. You're always learning, and your curiosity knows no end. Yes! Yes. Yes. I am satisfied with that. Okay. So I get +1 to skills that are in the thinking quadrants, the brain quadrants. Absorbent brain 1, so you can apparently develop that. I wonder whether Professor Hal is a person or a computer with a name like that. Because we are in space, after all. Okay, so that gave me a point in reasoning. All right. The other kids have trouble keeping up with you, but one tries. You get to pick your friend. You get to pick your friend. Oh my god, look at how cute they are. God, I love this art so much. I love this art so much. I'm sorry, but the kid on the left, the kid on the left is so adorable. And the kid besides them is also really adorable. Like those, I think the kid on the left is probably the one who would wind up being my sidekick. All right. Energetic and loyal Anemone, tough and gentle Cal, bold and confident Mars, quiet and adventurous Dees, studious and mature Tangent, or shy and sweet Tammy. Oh, that's true. This could be our Cal. Tangent is a great name. Ooh, oh, you can... Okay, you can go back up and see things. Okay. All right, Solana, who is your sidekick? Not bold and confident. That is not a good sidekick. And I don't think that's the best combination for the way that I play things. Maybe. Energetic and loyal. Quiet and adventurous. Yeah, sorry. These two probably not. Let's see, quiet and adventurous. It's gonna be the quiet ones are the ones you have to watch because they're they wander into trouble. I'll probably have to save you. Studious and mature Tangent. I mean, that would be the one that makes sense given the character that I have. Not that I have a lot of detail for her yet. Okay. It's a big choice, man. I don't know. I'm going to be so indecisive in this game. This feels like this is the kid on the left that I was drawn to. God, I want to know them all. I want to know them all. No, I think we're going to have to be a terrible duo of trouble. We're going to get into so much trouble. I feel like this is... Yeah, because it does feel like these go in line with, like, these are the 4 characters that we see here, but then you don't see these 2. I think I'm going to have to go with my gut here. And I'm going to pick this obnoxious bratty child. Oh, man. I'm delighted by this. We're going to do this. We're going to pick Anemone. Energetic and loyal Anemone. Anemone is the most enthusiastic person you know. Your favorite memory is the time she taught you how to play zero-G sports ball after class. She never means to get you into trouble, but somehow you always seem to find it together. Oh man, she's really adorable, but I can't imagine my character playing zero-G sports ball. Yes, I love that they call it sports ball. That's really cute. That doesn't feel right. I don't know how my serious nerd child would sports ball. Well, I guess I can look at everybody, can't I? Do you folks mind if I do that? Because I think I'm going to do that. All right. Tough and gentle Cal. Oh my god, adorable. Cal is a sweetheart, always ready to lend a hand or play a game. He and Tammy are just as inseparable, so it's almost like you have 2 best friends instead of just 1. Cal teaches you how to take care of all the classroom plants. Your parents are very proud of both of you. Oh man. I do really like Cal, and the 2 best friends instead of 1 is interesting and also sounds like it could lead to some drama. Okay. Wait, that's not right. Bold and confident Mars. Mars is a natural leader. Whenever you're all playing together, Mars is the one who comes up with all the ideas. She can be a little bossy, but that's part of her charm. She always organizes fun stuff for the kids after class. You're both founding members of the Secret Fun Times Club. Oh my god. I really do appreciate the way that they're incorporating kind of this like slightly silly way that we talk on the internet. Fun times. It's cute. I don't think so because I would be her sidekick and I don't want to be her sidekick. -1 kudos. I don't know what that means, but does that mean that she gets all of the attention? It's not right. Okay. Quiet and adventurous Dees. Unlike his studious twin sister Tangent, Dees sits at the back of the classroom and doodles on his hollow palm. You bond while cracking jokes about the weird diagrams in your textbooks. His quiet nature and his morbid curiosity make him somewhat of a loner, but at least he has a friend in you. Okay, actually, this sounds like my best friend growing up. Alright. +2 if in the first or last pane. I don't know what that means, but that's really interesting. Studious and mature Tangent, who is Deese's twin sister. Tangent. Oh! Tangent sits right up front by the hollow projector and always has her hand in the air. Oh gosh, she looks really cool. She and her twin brother Deese drifted apart when she started genome treatment to make her body conform to her gender. Today, Tangent is the girl you always knew she was, but her relationship with Deese is worse than ever. Okay, I like her. So she's also like the huge nerd. So we would be the huge nerds. But I'd have to work on her relationship with her brother. You don't think I'm not? There's no way you're expecting me to not meddle in every possible opportunity, right? You know me better than that. Let's see, wait, that's not right. Let's see, shy and sweet Tammy. Oh my God. Tammy is the kindest person you know. She idolizes antecedent. Oh my God, it's gonna be like that, is it? And is always following her around, helping her with the babies or learning how to cook. She has the best snacks, class recess, and always shares, especially with you and Cal. She and Cal are just as close, so it's kind of like having two best friends. Okay, she's adorable. And I love the discovery of antecedent's name. Oh man, that's glorious. Hello, Jason. Welcome to a game that I'm going to take forever on. I can tell. I'm really excited. Do you think this game was made for me on some level? I think I might actually be a good fit for this game. This is very exciting. Let's see. I love Anemone's design so much. But she's going to teach me to play sports ball, and the implication is that I'm going to like to play sports ball, and that will ruin my immersion. Although, I am still trying to learn fencing, so... Yeah, no, as far as I can tell, this game is going to be pretty much entirely words, and you make choices, and a lot of them have to do with problem solving and people solving, and those are two of my favorite things, so I'm excited. So yeah, pull up a chair and join us if you don't mind spoilers, although as I understand it, this is a game with a lot of replay value, which is also why I thought it was a visual novel. I think it's a little more complicated than a visual novel. Let's see. So Cal and Tammy are BFFs. Deece and Tangent are siblings and not on the best of terms right now. I'm sorry, Mars, you are not the kind of person that I would be friends with in this situation. Like, if you're bossy, I don't do well with bossy. I'm sorry. Like, I don't make a good sidekick. I get frustrated. I've had a few people try to sidekick me, and I'm just like, what are you doing, man? That doesn't happen. I don't do that. Okay. I do like Tangent, and I feel like Tangent makes the most sense with my character. Like, it makes sense for them to be friends. Like, Cal and Tammy are really sweet. They're both, like, the super sweet. Like, I would say that they are probably the compassion kids. The thing with Deece and Tangent, you see, is that I get... they provide me right from the beginning with something to meddle into. Because I immediately see that and I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to help with this. So, yes, the siren call of drama, indeed, Nick. I'm really interested in Deece's secret as like a gameplay thing. If you're into gameplay stuff, that's really fascinating. And like I said, like, he kind of makes me think of my best friend growing up, who was this slightly goth, morbid, super smart kid, who made a lot of jokes about school stuff. So like I could see that, but I think with my character, the way she's forming in my head, I think Tangent is the best choice. I know that maybe this means that I'm putting the two nerds together, and if I were building a party, this would not be the wisest decision. Chrono says, of course. You ended up with tangent as the prophecy foretold. What's that supposed to mean? I don't understand. Okay, guilty as charged. We're doing it. Tangent is obviously the right choice. I could spend 10 minutes. Well, the thing is, though, Chrono, to do it right, I would have to start off by speculating about what it could mean, and then I could wind up talking about something else unrelated. That would be the true tangent. All right, Tangent, are you ready to go on tangents together? Yes. But the thing is, Tangent, but then her nickname looks like it's Tang instead of Tange. Should I call her Tange? Let's vote on this. Do we have strong feelings about calling her Tange? Because that seems like that would be the nickname form of her name. Does anybody disagree? Does anyone have strong feelings? Okay, it seems like we're mostly on the same page here. Okay, we'll go with Tange. She goes by Tange. Okay. All right. Tange, you are my sidekick. I know sidekick is maybe not the way that you're supposed to interpret this, but whatever. We're going to do this. Yeah, Tangent. You're 10 years old when the ship finally reaches the wormhole. Professor Hal says it's like a doorway to other star systems with the planet Vertumna 4 on the other side. You run emergency drills for months to prepare. Okay. When the day finally comes, it starts with a rumble, then things start to slide off tables. You hurry to gather near the escape pods just in case. Interesting. Oh, I think I got another point in reasoning for picking the smart friend. The emergency area is crowded with families. It's going to be fine, Solana, your dad soothes. We'll be through the wormhole and down on the planet before you know it, just like we've practiced. Your mom gives him a sharp, worried look. So this must be my family's... No, this must be where the pods are. That makes sense. And yet, it's not an abandoned place, even if this is where the escape pods are. That's what I think those hatches in the sides are. But there's a dying plant back there, so that's how I know this is not my family's place, because my family would keep the plants alive because that's what they do. But you feel, one thing I really like about long-term spaceship travel design is the feeling of a space being lived in. Crowded and lived in, but well maintained, which this very much feels like. And I love the decision to make the lines look so hand-drawn. They could have had them still be hand-drawn and not have that kind of sketchy feel, but the sketchiness adds to it. So my mom does not think it's going to be okay, and she is concerned about what he's saying to me. Red emergency lights switch on as a siren begins to sound somewhere distant in the ship. You try to breathe slowly like you were taught, but you're very scared. You look out a porthole. The stars are gone. When you're frightened, you put on a tough face. Nope. Get in touch with your emotions. Or find a distraction. Wow. Frankly, I'm gonna say I don't have... This is the only one that they've given me an option to have. So does that mean that I have a point in empathy and that counts as 5? And each of those dots is maybe... Oh, you see at the top of this, there's the -30, the frowny face. So I have just gotten more 30. So I'm going to get in touch with my emotions and see what happens. You bawl like a baby. It feels good. You aren't the only one. Nearby, your classmate Tammy has tears streaming down her cheeks. Mars is trying quietly to console her. She sighs as your crying makes Tammy wail even louder. Even more loudly. I'm sorry, their grammar was more correct than mine. Your dad puts his arms around you as you let it out. Stress cry. 2. Don't know what that did, but it made me feel a bit better. I got 2 hearts and a stress cry. Ah, here we go. -10 stress. Okay, so that's stress there. +2 friendship with Tammy and +2 friendship with Mars. Okay. Interesting. Gained memories, stress cry. Ah, those are my memories. Got it. Yeah, I'm glad that the kids are still here. We can still have relationships with them. Okay. Crying when you're scared is okay. It is okay to cry. If you need to cry, do so. And I'm glad that your dad is there to comfort you. It's interesting that Tammy is being comforted by another child instead of a parent. I wonder why that is. Possibly her parents are busy doing things that are keeping the ship going or something like that. All right, let's progress this. You wait. The shaking builds. Oh, that added a lot more stress. Then everything starts to get very weird. The hallway stretches, and you're stretching too, your arms impossibly long. Your head feels like it's slowly filling up like a balloon and contracting down to the size of an atom at the same time. Is this the wormhole? Ooh, okay. This is what we're here for. You hear the distant, ominous squeal of metal giving way as the ship shudders and lurches in slow motion. The weirdest part is a sense of déjà vu. You're sure this has happened to you before, and you know somehow that everything is going to be okay. Are we in a time loop? I think we might wind up in a time loop in this game. Fascinating. Okay. That is definitely one way to do replayability. The shuddering reaches a crescendo. You hear an impossibly loud crunch and feel weightless for a few seconds before gravity slams you back against the wall head first. You black out. As you slip unconscious, you feel yourself twisted out of time. It's today, yesterday, and tomorrow all at once. And more than just one tomorrow. Lots of them. Different tomorrows. Ah, so the wormhole is how they make the multi-path, multi-playthrough experience diegetic. I remembered the word. That's a really cool thing. You couldn't do that in any other method of experiencing a story. Like, this is really cool. If they're doing what I think they're doing, that's really cool. Okay. Oh. Wait. You find yourself in a place that you know from your dreams. Tilled fields, dramatic ridges, and a stranger, but also not a stranger, grinning as she grabs your hand. Hurry up, she says. I'm not going to let you miss this. Man, okay, first of all, if that's my girlfriend, she sure is pretty. But also, okay, we're experiencing different parts of our own life. How? Or maybe we're going to experience parts of multiple lives right now. Distantly, you can feel the ship's shaking has stopped and hear your parents' worried voices. Feeling safe, you slip further into the warm embrace of the stars. You drift. Gradually, your consciousness reforms. You wake up in the medbay. The medbay under you plays a soft tone, and an automated voice speaks. 2 weeks have elapsed. The patient's cranial injury has completed healing. They may now be safely discharged. You know, I love the art. I absolutely love their decision to make it feel really organic in the drawing style. So we've got plants everywhere, which actually makes a lot of sense because, as they pointed out when they described our parents at the beginning, not only do the hydroponic plants provide food for the ship, but they also maintain the atmosphere, the breathing. And yeah, no, it feels very safe. And the music is very safe. But what's interesting is that in some ways it kind of lulls you into a feeling of security. But we know from the introduction that things will not be secure and safe all the way through. We begin the game in a moment of profound danger. ×2. So I like that. Are they going to get us to forget about it? Like, when you're dealing with the wormhole there, I was kind of like, oh, are we going to have some scary stuff while we're kids? But not really. Like, they're introducing whatever it is that they're going to be doing as they play with time and space and multiverses or whatever. They've worked that in, but that wasn't, fortunately, like, excuse me, a traumatic experience. All right. So we are in Medbay. As the fog lifts from your head, you realize something seems different about this room. It's so bright. Oh, we've landed! You try to focus on the window. Something is definitely different. Sunlight, trees, or ground? I like the confusion of sunlight, trees, ground? But I'm gonna say the lightness and the brightness would be the first thing that you would notice, I think. You spent your entire life looking out the window and seeing space. I'm gonna go with sunlight because I like that as an option. Instead of the familiar blackness of space, bright light from twin blue and yellow suns is streaming through the windows. Oh, you missed it. Oh. You peer out and see fields, glass-walled domes, and walls ringed by giant mushroom-like trees. There are construction materials everywhere and people walking around outside on the ground. I have stories in my head that I have been wanting to write that have to do with the colonizing of a planet like this, so this is really interesting. It is really interesting. I love that you've missed the first part of it, like it's so what an interesting thing. You were unconscious for the 2 weeks that they first made contact with the planet. You better get out there and join them. Oh man. I can either rush outside to start my new life or cautiously step outside to your new life. Solana, how much anxiety do you have, child? My points are in empathy and one of the problem-solving ones. What was that? Point in big brains. What is that? Either way, I don't know. I'm gonna rush outside. This is a big enough, exciting enough deal. My parents have prepared me well. Like, the entire ship has been educating the children toward this happening. So we're ready. We're excited, and I've missed the first 2 weeks. I better make up for lost time. Let's rush outside to start our new life. Wait, I can actually walk around. It's not just a visual novel. That's just the intro. Oh my god, it's so cute. I didn't realize it was going to play like this. Okay. Reasoning. That's the thing I have points in. Okay. Well. Yeah, right, Chrono? It felt like a visual novel. I thought it might be a visual novel with some gamey elements, which can happen, but... Oh, man. Amazing. Oh, Tammy jumps as you step out of the ship's quarters behind her. You're awake! Are you all better? You better go see your dad. She points southeast towards some geodesic domes. I love geodesic domes so much. I'm so excited. Were you folks here during one of my previous rants about geodesic domes? Why? I know that I've talked about them on stream before. Which means that I was talking about the strength of a triangle. What game made me talk about the strength of a triangle? Why would I talk about the strength of a triangle on stream? An equilateral triangle specifically. Oh, Horizon Zero Dawn! I think you're probably right, Whooper. There were things that were made of triangles there. Oh, and it also came up during Mythic Ocean. I'll believe it for both Horizon Zero Dawn and Mythic Ocean, because it was more recent than Mythic Ocean because I can remember having talked about it. But yeah, okay. Well, I will spare you a third lecture on the strength of equilateral triangles and why geodesic domes are so incredibly cool. But if this game talks about that, I will be really excited. I'm excited that they're there already. You managed to build them so fast. Third lecture about triangles. I mean, to be fair, that would kind of be the 3 points right there. All right. To walk, click on the ground. Click on characters to talk to them. Or use the controller. Do I have a jump button? I do not. Oh my god, it has my baby memories. I have baby memories. Look at that. Giggling. First words. Oh, these are different artists. Meili Chow. Eduardo Vargas. Those seem to be the two artists. Oh my god, Wondering. I've got 2 points in Wondering and 2 points in Discovering. Crawling. First Steps. Oh my gosh, so cute. God, the art is so cute. Tangents, Focus. Absorbent Brain. Memories, Gear. You'll keep adding to your deck as you age and can forget cards by spending time relaxing. You have a limited number of gear slots based on your organization and other skills. Click gear to equip or unequip it. Collectibles that you find while exploring may be given as gifts to friends or used during challenges for one-use bonuses. This is going to be complicated, folks. There's gameplay. Look for items on the ground while exploring. I can only equip one gear. And I can use these cards in challenges. Okay. Welcome, Solana. Month 1 of Quiet, age 10. You're 10 years old and a keen learner thanks to the hyperactive neurons in your brain. You're smart in an intuitive sort of way and you get good grades in engineering class. She, her. Alright, I have more friendship. Okay, it's interesting to see that the points are not even okay. It's got just a little friendship with there. Tangent is not, she's my closest friend, but that doesn't mean that we're like ultimate besties. Energetic girl who loves sports, she, her. She's 9, and I don't know anything else about her. Cal. Physically strong boy who isn't afraid to get in touch with his emotions. He's cute. Tangent. Studious and mature girl, often too busy to play with the others. She, her. Withdrawn boy, a loner and awkward around other people. Fierce and fiery girl with big dreams of success. She, her. Marzipan! Her name is Marzipan. Cal's name is Recalcitrance. Oh. Oh. Oh, man. So their names are... That's interesting. Tammy. Okay, I actually don't know how to pronounce that word. Like, is it aspartame? I always would have said aspartame, but I assume it's not if she's Tammy. Oh, it is aspartame. Then why is she Tammy? Well, that's fine. Sweet, down-to-earth girl who prefers to stay close to home and care for others. Love interest material. Okay, so we've got a sea creature. A way a person can be. Going off on tangents. Okay, so I automatically pronounce this name Dees. I don't actually know if that's correct or not. Your name for food. Your name for artificial sweetener. I can rename my character still, and here is the ability to change those things. Okay, oh, and there's a whole bunch more people to meet. Sweet, there's a lot of people to meet. I'm going to meet them all. Okay, so this is my people sheet and character sheet, and this is my... Okay, the top button is my inventory. This all counts as inventory. And this is my character sheet, which involves other characters. Got it. Engineering. A low throbbing noise comes from the engine room, which provides power to the colony. Other corridors lead off to the teaching labs and medbay. You know the route to your classroom well, but the rest of this wing is off limits to children. Congruence, the ship's onboard AI, beams down at you from a nearby holoscreen. Don't forget to study hard, Solana. Leave. Oh, that's neat. Okay, so that is all one thing. Okay. I'm gonna wander around. You can't think I'm gonna just go where I'm supposed to go. Who do you think I am? Valencia? I might actually. I'm gonna be starting Aiden hopefully this Thursday. But I might play the Suikoden remaster on stream. Which would mean replaying a game that I've already played on stream that I know well, but I do love Suikoden enough I might give it a try. We'll see. I am very excited, but they haven't announced a release date for it last I heard. Command. Command is a warren of long hallways with doors off to tiny nondescript offices. Everyone you pass seems to be hurrying off to something important. The end of one hallway opens into the supply depot, which works as both requisitions office and general store. Beyond it are cavernous warehouses, stacked high with supplies from Earth now being gradually unpacked and distributed. View the notice board? Yes, we're going to view the notice board. Colony food shortfall. Minus 100%. Low. Colony security rating evaluating. Upcoming event. We will be hosting our first annual Vertumnalia Festival during the second month of Dust. Chief Administrator Seek, which is probably short for obsequious, the way this game has been going with its character naming. Notice, take precautions outside of the colony boundaries. Xenofauna, oh good, have been sighted in the area. Survey teams are investigating. Chief Surveyor Tonin, who I assume is named Serotonin. I'm sorry, but I'm just assuming that these character names are going to be like that, and I love it. I'm glad you enjoyed my Suikoden 2 stream, Valencia. I love that game, and I'm very happy to have shared it with people who had never encountered it before. Maybe I'll play some more Suikoden on stream. We'll see. But I'm looking forward to Aiden. Have you played it yet? No spoilers if you have. Okay, so we're going to have to worry about the colony starving to death, which is concerning. I'm concerned about that. I have to look at everything. There's a person to talk to that looks like my dad. I'm going to talk to this girl. Tammy looks concerned. You slept for so long after you bumped your head, she says. I bet your parents were worried. Your dad is working over in geoponics near those domes. They're called greenhouses. I would go with you, but, well, this is as far as I've been from the ship since we landed, Tammy stammers, blushing. It's scary outside. You could walk with me. I'd walk you there. What is this? The garrison. Oh. A small team led by Security Chief Rhett was enough to keep the peace on the stratospheric. To stay busy, they also ran the exercise gym and sports ball courts. Here on Vertumna, the garrison has expanded fast. They're building a huge wall around the colony and have an outdoor firing range and a big covered dojo. And best of all, a regulation-sized sports ball court. Okay, so apparently everyone does like sports ball. I guess when you've only got so many things to be entertained by. So Rhett is a name that that exists in our current Earth, so that could just be a name. So that's good. So to keep the peace, they had a little security team that also runs the gym. Okay, so I'll be able to spend my time getting stronger. Oh, hello. I'm just looking around. They said I could find things by exploring, which means I'm going to walk around all over everything. You know how it is. You got to look at everything. That's my dad. And that's the greenhouse. That's not a geodesic dome. Domes are made of triangles, and those aren't triangles. That's okay. It's designed to look cool. It's fine. Nobody asked me anyway. Shall we talk to Dad? I guess we should probably talk to Dad. It looks like that's the only way to progress the game. All right. Squares are like two triangles, but I don't think it works that way. I don't know. I feel like that isn't how a geodesic dome works, because I think in that case you have, like, maybe it's a weakness in the middle when you apply the pressure to the sides. I'm not sure. But there's a reason why they're made out of triangles. So. All right, let's talk to Dad. Hi, Dad. What's funny is that the dad is probably younger than Lauren, me, than I am in real life. It is interesting realizing that I have aged into the I'm very clearly and solidly parent aged. That's fine. It just means I have experience. All right. Solana, your dad gives you a big warm hug. I'm so happy you're finally awake. Dr. Instance thought it'd be best to keep you asleep while your noggin healed. Your mother and I thought you might sleep away the whole year, my snoozy little gooseberry. He checks your head and looks relieved. He was clearly very worried about you, but covers it with jokes and smiles. Okay. So either, aw, you love your dad, or he's so embarrassing. Why would you pick embarrassing? No. Of course, you love your dad. It's cute that he's being obnoxious. Welcome to Vertumna, he says, gesturing around you. You've never seen the stratospheric from the outside except in pictures. The ship has been separated in two, and parts taken off to form other buildings and a big wall around the whole colony. The alien jungle creeps right up to the wall. Only the geodesic greenhouses pass outside it, dotting their way up the hill. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna do this. Okay, so I can either say, it's beautiful, or how did you do this so fast? Or what's outside the walls? All right. I know that every single question, every single answer that I give is going to have some significance. This is the brain option. This is probably the, like, bravery option, actually. I don't know. Empathy, complimenting something. It would probably make Dad happy to say it's beautiful. Do I want to make Dad happy? I want to know more about everything here, but yeah, sure. Dad seems really excited, so I'm going to say it's beautiful. I'm glad you agree, he says. Your mother and I, we've been waiting a long time to see grass and trees again, even if they are purple. Oh, before I forget. He pulls a package out from his satchel and hands it to you. You blink and stare at it blankly. Don't you know what day it is? He asks. You honestly don't. You remind him that you've been asleep in medbay. Is it my birthday? Huh. Happy birthday, he shouts, wrapping you in a warm hug. Your birthday already? You feel a dizzying sense of déjà vu. You stare hard at the wrapped package. You know exactly what is in there. You remember it. No, you dreamed about this package some years ago on the ship. Inside will be a small medallion in the shape of a sun that your dad made by hand. So I could either not open it, or I could either open it or tell him you know what's in it. That's really, really interesting. I was not expecting the game and the character to have some awareness of the replayability of the game. Yeah, this is definitely unsettling. Something went wrong with the wormhole. And it doesn't seem to have affected the other kids, I guess. Maybe? I don't know. Do I open the package? Telling him that I know what's in it just seems like something that would make him upset. So I'm going to I don't want to ruin the surprise, but if I have another opportunity to reveal that I know something, I might take it then. But for now, the no, I wouldn't want to ruin Dad's surprise will take precedent, because at 10 you are old enough to be able to think through that. If this was 6, I would straight up say it. Open the package. How did you know this? It's exactly as you imagined, as you dreamed. A feeling of panic rises in your throat. Your hand shakes. But how? Your dad notices. Are you okay, Solana? He snaps his fingers. Dr. Instance shouldn't have let you out so early. Sometimes those sleeping meds take a while to wear off. They might make your head feel funny for a few hours. You nod. Maybe that's all it is. Someone shouts your dad's name. Listen, I'm so sorry, Solana, he says, but I have to get back to work. There was an accident when we landed and... He stops himself. Don't worry, we're going to fix it, your mother and I. That doesn't bode well. That does not bode well. Something went wrong with the plants that we depend on to be able to eat, because we can't eat the things on this planet because it's another planet. So we'll see what happens. Professor Hal is expecting you in classes if you're feeling up to it, your dad says, pointing west to the engineering wing and the rear end of the bisected ship. Then he points to the large doors you came out of earlier. Or you can relax in our quarters until you're feeling better. We'll talk later tonight, he says, then kisses the top of your head and ruffles your hair. Have a wonderful birthday, Solana. I love you. This feels rather like I'm not going to see him again. I have unlocked Study Humanities and Engineering. I will do that. I can say love you too, Dad, which I'm going to do because I have a terrible sense that I'm not going to get another chance to. To enter buildings, click on the door or the flag beside it, or get close and press enter or another action button. Then choose an activity for the month to gain skills and advance time. There are 13 months a year and 10 years to the end of the game. You'll only have time to focus on a few things. Oh, that is fascinating. Enter buildings, click on the door or the flag beside it. Then choose an activity for the month. I want to talk to people. Hello, Dees. You see Dees sitting on the ground beside some bushes. Is he hiding from somebody? He seems to be watching the gate in the wall to the south, where the grown-ups are coming and going. Kids aren't allowed past the walls, he says quietly, without looking up. They say there's nothing to be afraid of, but then why do we need walls? You stare at the gate and have a sudden rush of memory so strong you think you might faint. This isn't good. And there's this slight, sounds played backwards in the music that is very disorienting. You imagine something crashing through the wall. Something enormous and dark and wriggly. For years in space, you've had half-remembered nightmares of monsters, of your ship being destroyed, of sifting through wreckage that used to be your home, trying to find something. Your dad always told you the dreams weren't real. Oh, this is why the character dreamed of things that she's never seen. The ground and the sky. Breaking you from your daydream, Dees whispers, I think there are monsters out there. So I can either say, I believe you, stop making things up, or our parents will keep us safe. I'm going to say I believe you. Because I do. And I've had enough unsettling memory experiences here. We're going to go with this. No, you don't, he says. You're being sarcastic, I can tell. Nobody believes me. He turns his back and ignores you. So if I say they're huge and wriggly and dangerous, he's going to think I'm making fun of him. If I leave him alone. He's 10, I'm 10. I tried to express solidarity and he shunned me. Dealing with this situation would require more social dexterity than a 10-year-old has. So I'm going to leave him alone at this point. Well, you tried. Dees is so sensitive about being teased. Probably not the right answer, but that's what I'm doing. Okay. Well. So that's the... Oh, hello! Oh my god, it's this adorable kid. You gonna go play a game? Hiya, Solana! Anemone seems really at home here. She's rolling a sports ball around with her foot, making patterns in the weird blue snow. This stuff is different from snow on Earth, she tells you, because it isn't cold, but it's still neat and you can make stuff out of it. Your foggy head clears a little. Anemone is simple, physical, real. You always feel grounded near her. So I can say, what are you making? Have you seen any monsters? Why aren't you in school? Or see you later. I'm going to ask her what she's making. Just snow spirals, she says. But earlier, me and Cal made a big snow pal. You missed it while you were sleeping in medbay. She smiles her broad, gap-toothed smile at you. Now that you're awake, we can play. Have you seen any monsters? Nope, just some little bugs. The grown-ups would say if there were monsters, right? She shrugs, then smiles reassuringly. Even if there were monsters, Chief Rat would beat them all up, so don't worry. My mom says we're safer here than we were in space. You both look over at the wreckage of the Stratospheric, the spaceship where you were born. Anemone's mom, Antecedent, is probably right about that. Look what the wormhole did to your ship. Amazing. All right, I'm going to ask her, why aren't you in school? She smacks her forehead. School! I wondered where everybody was. I guess I'm going to be late for humanities class. She doesn't look very worried to you. It's okay, she says. Professor Hal is chill. He won't mind. But we should probably go now. She grins and starts running towards engineering. Hey, race you! No fair. She's getting a head start. Okay, let's see if there's anyone else to talk to. I think I'm going to have to go and do the humanities. She's really adorable. All right, so the adults, though, are all down here. And I can't do anything here myself. So I guess we'll go do a humanities. Oh, I can study life sciences. +2 biology, +1 reasoning, +1 friendship with tangent, and +15 stress. Or I can study humanities, +2 creativity, +2 persuasion, +1 friendship with tangent, and +15 stress. Life sciences seems like it would be more likely to keep me alive. But the humanities will be really important. I have some points in both engineering and reasoning right now. I should study biology at some point. I know I probably should, but I'm playing a brainy character with a brainy friend. And I'm going to go against my build, and I'm going to get better at creativity and persuasion. Just in case things go wrong, I'm going to try to be able to help keep the peace, maybe. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't know how this playthrough is going to go. We're going to study humanities. I wonder if you can do things badly so you get a bad ending. If there are a number of good endings. I don't know. We'll see. Let's study the humanities. That's what I would do. Welcome, Solana. Professor Hal greets you. I hope you're all warmed up and ready to study the glorious humanities. History, literature, language, media, and philosophy. And yes, if you're lucky, we'll have a little ancient earth poetry, too. He seems excited about that last bit. By the way, if anyone is interested in taking engineering classes, please register through Congruence's scheduling system when you have a chance. She'll be helping me teach them. Okay, so engineering is not his greatest strength, so he'll be assisted by the AI, which hopefully will not wind up being corrupted and evil. Yes, he is very friend-shaped. He very much looks like he should be teaching children. I also like how there's like a style to the way people dress. It's a little bit outlandish, but not so outlandish that I can't believe it. Today's assignment is an easy one, Hal says with a yawn, because I was up late repairing Congruence's subterminal and I could use a nap. I'd like you to write an essay on what the Vertumna colony means to you. Okay, so I can either say freedom, equality, democracy, the big concepts, or my friends are all here, or I feel safe here, or just doodle instead of writing. I'm going to go with my friends are all here. That is the kind of person that I think I play in games. And so at least for my first pass, we're going to do some of that. So he'll take a nap while we write essays. I'm going to write my friends are all here. You write about all your buds and the fun things you do together. Just the way it's written. It's a little casual there. I don't know. I might do multiple playthroughs. I figured I probably would do at least a few. Like, we'll see how it goes. I don't know how long they'll take. But this feels like a game that's not meant to be just played through once. So, we'll see. Okay. When Hal wakes up from his nap, he asks a few students to read their essays to the class. Mars is annoyed that you hardly mention her. Well, you aren't really friends, so okay. We lost some friendship points with her. Get to work. Oh. When you work or go to class, you'll play a quick card challenge as the month passes. Move cards to fill the 5 panes and make the best hand you can. Yes, order matters. If you total the circle in the right, if your total in the circle on the right reaches the goal value, you win. Depending on your cards, some challenges can't be won, but you still get a reward for doing your best. How does the order matter? Okay, next. Bonus for same colors together. Bonus for pairs, same number together. Okay. Bonus for straights, increasing left to right. The more cards in a flush, pair, or straight, the higher the bonus added to your total. Cards can also affect each other and can be rearranged to find the best total score. Okay. We're going to start with this and go here. I should be able to do this. So I put all of the blues together, all of the ones together. Super goal! Excellent. All right. We managed to succeed at this super goal. We did not get a collectible, but that's fine. Victorious. You worked well this month. +1 to creativity. Your skills increase when you work or go to school, with extra skills if you win the challenge, and a kudos bonus if you make the highest scoring hand with your cards. Working also increases stress, which prevents you from working if it reaches 100. To relieve stress, take a month off to relax in the quarters wing. Okay. Okay, so kudos from best score. Stress goes up. Persuasion goes up. Creativity goes up from 1 challenge and super goal. And I made a point. I got a point in my friend. Okay, done. Well. Your parents have been working from first dawn to well after dinner every day. You know growing food is an important job, and it's vital to get crops in the ground right away, but there seems to be something more than that. It's such a change from growing up on the stratospheric when you saw them all the time. You stay up and wait for them at night before going to bed. Though you can tell they're exhausted, they make an effort to spend time with you. Things are not all right here. I'm sorry we haven't seen much of you, little gooseberry, your dad says. Your mom watches you as she works a pebble out of her gardening tiller, which also serves as a crutch. How have you been holding up? So I can say, I learned some stuff in school, or school is so boring. I'm going to say I learned some stuff in school. Okay, so mom uses a crutch. Does that mean that she's got some sort of a disability? I'm glad to hear that, your mom says. I want you to study hard, work hard, and stay out of trouble. Your dad smiles. And Professor Hal will give you kudos if you get good grades. You can spend those at the depot once it's open. Yeah, I was worried about the parents' survival. We'll see. They may yet not make it to the end, but at the very least, we can have some time with them. You know, says your dad, raising an eyebrow at your mom, I think there are lots of different ways to learn, and school is just one of them. You can learn from working on a hobby or by helping a friend. Your mom shakes her head and sighs, though you can tell she's trying to put on a gentle expression. We both agree that this colony is an experiment, and that means we're going to do things differently than on Earth. And then they both say, I think, you're old enough now to start making your own decisions about your education and future. And if that means you find your own way, we'll accept that. So it's not that we have to go to school. Your dad puts a hand on your shoulder. We'll be proud of you no matter what you do. Try talking to your friends. They may have ideas for how you can spend your time. And come by geoponics, your mom adds. We could use your help. Okay, I can now shovel dirt in geoponics. Early quiet. Oh, that's the month. Mid quiet. Oh, no, that's the season. Okay. All right. Quiet season. I can see this kid wanting to do the dirt thing so that she can spend time with her parents. Trying to press a run button. Oh, Mars, you don't like me very much. A sharp whistle interrupts your thoughts. Hey, Solana, Mars calls out to you. Come here, I have a job for you. You walk over to Mars, who's sheltering from the snow under the ship's overhang. It's so gross here, she complains. This spark snow would ruin my good clothes. At least on the ship we had climate control. Ugh. Tammy made me some soy sweets, but there's no way I'm going out there in all this weather, she continues. Since you like running around in it, could you fetch them for me? Sure, why not? I'll give her this once, we'll see how it goes. I don't like bossy, but I'm trying, and my parents told me to talk to people, and also I made her mad last time, so we're gonna try. Okay, so I'm gonna say okay. Good, Mars claps. She's probably just down the hill near our quarters. Mars sighs. She's scared to take more than a few steps from the door. All she wants to do is hide inside and make sweets. Okay. There she is. And there's my dad and my mom and this kid who does not want to talk to me. Oh, and this kid who does want to talk to me. Okay, well, let's finish this quest. See how it goes. We're trying to make friends with people. Okay. Tammy is staring obliviously at the sky, smiling to herself. She startles as you approach. Oh, hello, Solana, she says, putting her hand to her chest. Do you need something? I'm here for Mars's soy sweets. Tammy smiles at you. Oh, it's so nice of you to help out Mars. She's a very important person, you know. Yes, very important. She hands you a box wrapped in a pink and yellow scarf. One order of mango soy sweets made fresh this morning, she says. Please tell Mars that she can have the scarf back, okay? She used some of her kudos to nanoprint it for me because it's so dusty here, but I think I'm getting used to it now. I'm not quite sure what that means, but I think she made the scarf so that Tammy would adjust better to the weather here. But Tammy is giving it back. Tammy smiles again and tucks her hair behind her big elven ears. Yeah, I thought she had elven ears. We've got elves on Earth. Okay, that's fine. We can do that. Mars is so cool, she says fondly. Sometimes she's kind of bossy, but I know she really cares too. Yeah, we'll see how that winds up going. Okay, done. I'm going to turn this in and then I'm going to talk some more. Mars puts her hand out expectantly. Give it here. So I can either say, here it is. I ate them. She gives me a memory. I want half. Need persuasion 5 or greater, which I don't have. Or if you want them, you gotta pay up. Need persuasion 10 or greater. Sharing is caring. That's cute. This gives me 2 flexes. This will give me a friendship point potentially. It will be funny if this doesn't even give me a friendship point with her because she just assumes that you're going to do this for her, which is good to know. I assumed that was her hair, but it could be a headscarf. All right, I'll give these to her and see what happens. You hand over the box of soy sweets with a smile. Mars takes it and giggles. You're such a good sidekick, doing everything I say. Okay. What did I say about being a sidekick? All right, that's it. I did gain loyalty. She opens the box and hands you a soy sweet. Your tip, she tells you. Oh, an ambassador Seek's looking for someone to do delivery jobs to the depot, she says. I don't want to do it, because, like, ew, running around out there? No. Just go through there, she says, gesturing to the door behind her, and tell them I referred you. Alright, so now I've unlocked the ability to do errands, which would probably get loyalty. You see Tammy sitting quietly near the entrance to the lounge. You've known her for, well, your whole entire life. Back on the ship, you either used to play with her, were her study partner, or used to tease her. I would not have teased her, no. I feel like play with her feels like the more in character one, so we're going to do that. Used to play with her. Tammy had the best doll collection. After her mom died, her dad used all his nanoprinter creds to print her a different doll every month for a whole year. Her ears perk up when she sees you. Oh, hello, Solana, she says. Her voice is soft and dreamy, like a beam of starlight. Do you want to play dolls? Okay. Honestly, I could stand to do something fun. And apparently, I used to play with them. And 10 is still young enough. You could play dolls. I think your family would allow you to do that as long as you do some serious stuff. So, yeah, we're going to get made fun of by the kids, and then I'll punch them in the face. It's going to be great. Let's see what happens. So I'll say, I sure do. You don't think Tammy will ever be too old to play with dolls. If anything, she has even more of them now. She takes you to her quarters and brings out the entire Spacey Stacy doll collection. A disturbingly realistic baby with real bowel movements. And 2 super fancy posable dolls named Lily and Tilly, who can be programmed to move on their own. Tammy isn't very good at the programming, so Lily and Tilly just roll around awkwardly when you turn them on. You cover quickly by saying they must be breakdancing at a club. The 2 of you spend the afternoon making up stories of their rise to stardom as professional dancers. So I've gained empathy, which is good, and I've gained friendship with Tammy. Yeah, empathy is something I think I want to continue working on because I want to balance out my logic. But I have no points in toughness, and that will probably be bad. Okay. That is, however, how I tend to play video games. So, like, all right. Yes, Mom does seem to have possibly a prosthesis. I think so. That would make sense. Okay. We can talk to Dad. We can talk to Mom. Hello, my little potato, your dad exclaims, smiling warmly. What have you been up to today? So I can say, just hanging with my friends, or staying in, it's cold out here, or playing in the fresh air. I'm going to say just hanging with my friends. That's what I've been doing. That Cal's a good boy, he says. And have you seen Anemone? She's been out by the garrison playing sports ball. I think she's spent every day outside since we landed. He chuckles to himself. Guess that's what happens when you've got enough brothers to make your own sports ball team. Okay, so this is interesting because they established that your mom is the one who wants you to go to school and then do school stuff. And your dad is here like talking about the characters who are known for their strength or physical prowess. So that's interesting. Yeah, no, this game is on sale. I, in fact, picked it up on sale. So if you like what you see here and you would like to have your own adventures playing through it, go ahead and pick it up. And then we can all go through and see what kind of shenanigans we get up to. All right. He breathes deeply and looks slowly around. Vertumna is magnificent, isn't it? You nod. Seasons, he shouts, throwing his hands wide. I missed seasons. Back on Earth, it got much, much colder, and the snow wasn't half as pretty as our spark snow. He sighs, stretching. You just wait until dust season. Both the suns will be high in the sky, and it'll be real hot then. You'll see. All right, Mom. You find your mom hard at work setting up the greenhouses with a small construction crew. You've seen these plans pinned to the wall of your family's quarters for years now. These geodesic domes will house the more delicate plants from Earth. Spinach, tomatoes, maybe even fruit. Look, there's a little robot guy watering the field over there. Is spinach delicate? I guess tomatoes are easily ruined. So if you don't want to afford, or like if you can't afford to lose them. She takes a swig from her canteen as you approach. Looking for something to do? She asks. Remember, Solana, you're responsible for your own schedule now that we've landed. You can decide how to spend your time, so long as it's productive. She points towards the engineering wing in the back half of the Stratospheric's severed frame. Professor Hal's still expecting you in class, but a well-rounded education includes practical application. You're old enough to help with the work around here. She claps her hand on your shoulder. I've got another minute. Anything you need to know? Okay. What are you doing in geoponics? What's happening in engineering? What can I do in the quarters? What's the garrison? What's going on in command? Can I join expeditions? Okay, let's see how many of these questions I can ask. What are you doing in geoponics? She looks down and nudges at a sprout growing between her feet. It's green, the color of earth plants. We're doing our best, she says, but it hasn't been easy. I just hope the potatoes and corn can handle the weather here, she says, glancing up at the sky. I hear it rains like hell in the wet season. Oh, yeah, that's concerning. She takes a long look at you up and down. You're growing fast, Solana, but you're still too young for real farming. Instead, well, there's a lot of soil that needs to be hauled. Seeing your disappointment, she nudges you on the shoulder. Don't pout. It'll help build those muscles. You'll need them now that we're out in the real world, doing real work. Out here, we have to rely on our physical strength. She flexes her biceps. Your mom is really strong. All right, let's just ask around. Let's ask about everything. We might as well. Maybe this is the way that we kind of get a sense for how things work. Okay. What's happening in engineering? Hal's teaching classes on life science, engineering, and humanities. If you pass all your tests, maybe he'll let you work there in a few years. Your father thinks you're old enough that school is optional. I don't agree, but I'll be honest with you, she says, gesturing to the fields. We do need every pair of hands we can get. If you want to work with me here in geoponics, I'd suggest studying life science. If you don't have a good grasp of biology and ecology, I'm going to stick you with shovel duty. Okay. Yes. Mom does seem to be more physical and mind and less on the empathy. Like when you could visibly see her trying to be gentle, like that's not her natural thing. Whereas Dad seems to be more social and physical. Like he's clearly strong and tough and he gets along with the strong and tough people, but he has more of the softness and empathy. He also doesn't necessarily value education the same way the mom does. So that's interesting. They're presenting two different ways to be. All right, what can I do in the quarters? If you need a break, she advises, you can visit the lounge and see your friends. But, she warns, raising a finger, I don't want to see you lounging around all the time. You need to work hard, too. Okay, let's ask about the garrison. Security Chief Rhett is organizing a sports ball team. You used to play, didn't you, back on the ship? It'll be different here with the planet's gravity. Of all the adults in the colony, Rhett and your mom are the most like soldiers you'd see in a holovid. For a moment, you think your mom's going to suggest something else. Then she shakes her head. You're too young for defense training, so don't worry about that yet. Just enjoy yourself and stay out of trouble. Okay. So perhaps there was, when they were getting away from the troubles on Earth, maybe there was actually some sort of a war. Interesting. We're going to have to kind of piece that together, aren't we? What's going on in command, other than that potentially being where I can get delivery jobs? I think Seek said they need someone to deliver supplies from the depot. They're also setting up a shop there if you've got some kudos to spend. And of course, that's where Governor Udicott works. But you shouldn't bother her. She's a busy woman and she doesn't have your mother's patience with kids. You try not to giggle. Your mom isn't usually known for her patience. Yeah, I can see that. All right, can I join expeditions? Oh, you're too young to leave the colony. It's dangerous. She shakes her head. Your father would be worried. Yeah, I'm sure he's the only one, of course. There's so much we still don't know about the world out there. Let the adults find out, then maybe you can join them in a few years when you're older. She gives you a stern look. She isn't going to budge on this one. For now, stay inside the walls. Okay, bye. All right, so I've learned about a lot of things. This kid is not going to talk to me, is he? Oh! Diz looks at his feet and pretends not to notice you. So I could dare him to eat a worm if I had enough points in bravery, which I absolutely do not. That's okay. I'm sorry, I didn't even realize that stream went down. I don't know how much you guys missed. I had a... Well, that's no good. Yes. Did you see the thing with the kid and the worm? I didn't take the action. I read it out loud, but I can go read it out loud again if we didn't do that. We did see that? Okay, perfect. Okay. So I came over here to talk to Dad. That's the lack of option. It's interesting to see these options, and I'm like, wow, you would have to have a lot more points than I do in like literally anything. So I've spoken to my dad. I could get a point for lassoing a float cow, which is very inventive and creative. But I'd have to have 20 points in animals, and I have exactly 0. Your dad is up to his elbows in rich brown dirt. You've rarely seen him happier. Hey, Gooseberry, he says, scrunching his nose at you instead of waving. Here to give your old man a hand? I could use one. Okay, so I don't have enough points to help anyone with anything. With Mom. Okay, no, I've already talked to her about stuff. Your mom is hard at work breaking ground for the new fields. As the colony's chief cultivator, she's been preparing for this year for as long as you can remember. Hey, Solana, she says, leaning hard on her tiller and mopping her brow. You need me for something? If you're not going to class, I can always put you to work. Okay, I've already asked her everything. Let's go talk to this kiddo. Anemone is bumping a sports ball with her wrists, trying to keep it in the air. Heads up, she shouts and bumps the ball in your direction. Think fast. Okay, if I had any toughness at all, I could do a trick. I can try to bounce it back, or look out, a ball is flying toward you. I'm going to try to bounce it back. Ah, you bounce the ball back and forth with her, trying to see how many times you can rally and keep it going. Anemone tells you about the new sports ball court, a proper regulation-sized court, way bigger than the little 0G one on the stratospheric. Her brother Com is coaching the junior sports ball team this year. She's so adorable. Wait, the markings on her make me think of the friend in the intro sequence. I think she might be the friend in the intro sequence. Those green markings going down, and I think that person had red hair too. That would be interesting. He's so great, she says. He's good at everything, especially spiking. He's coaching me to play awesome like him. You should come join us. You could play sports ball in the garrison. I also got a point in toughness. Okay. I don't want to go to school, Anemone pouts, but I guess we have to. You know how to get there, right? Through the door in the engineering wing behind me. You know, the big thing with the rockets on top? She laughs. I was confused too at first. I'd never seen the ship from the outside before. Oh man, telling a violent tale. You could ask to train together. That's fascinating. -2 to neighboring chat, like neighboring social cards. That's interesting. Okay, well, we're not going to do that. Oh. Tammy's dad is the head of expeditions, which means he's out surveying the jungle every day. This morning you see her crying in the doorway as he leaves. I don't like when he goes out there, she sniffs after he has gone. But he's so brave, and so are you. That's why I like you, Solana. So I could perform a random act of kindness, but I don't have quite enough points. I don't know how much empathy I have, but it's not 20. I can't do that. What is my character sheet? No? Here. No? Wait, no, that's wrong. Wait, no. My character. Not my portrait. My character sheet. Where can I see my... Is it here? Like, I don't know how many points I have in my empathy skills. Okay, hold on. We're gonna mouse over if we can do that. Oops. Ah, here we go. Empathy, 11 out of 100. Understanding other people. Oh, good. We can read out loud what these skills are and how they work. Understanding other people. Persuasion, 2 out of 100. Charisma, to command people and speak in public. Well, I'm 10. What do you expect from me? Creativity, 4 out of 100. Artistic ability and capacity for novel ideas. That'll be useful. Bravery, 0 out of 100 for both social and dangerous situations. Okay, reasoning, 20 out of 100. Problem solving and general knowledge. Organizing, dedication to neatness and management. Engineering, 11 out of 100. Study of machines, physics, math, and programming. And I have 0 points in biology. Study of plants, biochemistry, and the human body. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Hello, are you one of the folks who made it? Can we take a moment to kind of talk about some of the things that are really, really impressing me about this game? If you've got a minute, do you mind? Because I would absolutely love to give you a little like kudos. Okay, yeah, no, I really want to comment on, like, I loved the decision to start like in the middle at the beginning, like in media res. Like, storytelling was super effective, like a really good way of letting us know that no matter how cute it looks right now, like things can and will get intense, which is really smart. And like just the way that you have such like an organic art style, even though like we're obviously in this technological science fictional setting, like all these like little details, like stylistic choices of how you folks made it, like it's so incredibly cool. It really gets across, like, I think a feeling that you're going for. At least I assume here I'm making presumptions about what you're going for, but I really, really love that. Like, the art is so good that it was like distracting me from the scenes. No, I really had no idea. I thought this was a visual novel because I've heard people talk about multiple paths. I'm really enjoying that it's got, I'm going to try to figure out the mechanics because I'm not always the most mechanically savvy person. But I'm really intrigued by like the setup, and just mostly like the artistry, the creation of it. It's really interesting. So yeah, like, please tell your team that you did fantastically. Like, it's interesting to me because I feel like with like an indie game, a lot of times people will be like, okay, we're going to tell a really story-driven game. And in some ways this feels like this is like, we're going to have this storytelling branching, like narrative with, I guess, whatever is going on with like the other dreams, other memories, the, I guess, wormhole induced multiple universes or wherever the story is going. Like, it could be just that. Like, you could make a game that was just that, but the fact that you've chosen to give it this like interesting system to play through it, it's not like anything else I've encountered. And I'm admittedly, I haven't played every game in the world, but it's really hard for me to think of what exactly I would compare this to, but not in like a bad way or anything. Like, it's interesting, you know, when we stepped out here and there were people to talk to, people were like, is this going to be like a Stardew Valley experience with people and cultivating like the area around you and making choices with your time. But it's not quite that. And so like the complexity of, I assume we're going to have to solve problems in different ways based on how we've built out our skills. But also making relationships with people. Like, I'm really into meddling in games. I'm not familiar with Citizen Sleeper. I played a bunch of Disco Elysium on stream, or at least some on stream. It wound up I wound up having to stop streaming it, but it definitely, I'm glad that there are more of these really narrative exploration games. But I feel like this to me, this doesn't feel like Disco Elysium. Like, it has some of that. You never know what the small choices that you make are going to wind up influencing in the longer run. But it feels so very different in how it works. Especially because it, at least, like, Disco Elysium feels like it's this massive tome that is supposed to, like, kind of bludgeon you with the heaviness of the story that it's telling and the experience that you're having. With this, I feel like what I'm guessing, I'm very, very early on, as you can tell. But what I'm guessing is that there's kind of this diegetic reason for the multiple playthroughs. And so there's the expectation that you will play through it several times. In a really different way. Like, it very much feels like it's your own thing, and I'm really excited about it. So yeah, I hope, just basically this is just me trying to, like, just drop a little bundle of appreciation on your head to please just, you can tell your team somebody said good things about our game. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it and impressed with it so far. And I'm glad that the system doesn't seem overly complex to me yet. I've been able to figure out the one use of cards that I've had to do so far. So hopefully I'll be able to figure out the rest. But it feels like it's complicated, so it's neat. Anyway, thank you for dropping by. It's always fun when the devs drop by. It lets us all feel a little special. Man. Once again, though, I am building a character who does not have points in physical abilities. Am I predictable? Yes. Yes, I am. I now have 1 point in toughness. I do have a type. I absolutely do. I did befriend Tangent. Yes, that's right. In the most in character moment. Look, she was the obvious choice. Oh, man. Okay. So, toughness, physical strength and stamina, perception, ability to find things and to sneak past things. Oh, if I want to be sneaky, I'm going to have to put points in a physical ability. Lots hard. Combat, tactics and weapons. Yeah, that's actually going to become relevant. I know it will, whether it's because of hopefully not internal strife, but there's this whole rebellion, relationship with adults and colony government. Okay, that's me specifically, but, like, I wonder if you can set out on your own. Go, like, full quiet year. Peace out. I'm gonna go start my own colony, which I absolutely got that card several times playing the Quiet Year. Who here has played the Quiet Year? If you haven't, I strongly encourage you to give it a try. It's super cool. Yes, Chrono. Excellent. I love the Quiet Year. Actually, I would say, I would draw more of a connection between this game and the Quiet Year than, like, a lot of, like, other, like, video games that I've played. And that's, like, a huge compliment. I love the Quiet Year. It's this interactive storytelling card game that you, like, you and the other players, like, create a setting, and then the society that lives there. It's so fascinating. It's very cool. Anyway, this just made me, I suddenly thought of the Quiet Year and got very excited. Yeah. But so I'm kind of worried there's going to be internal strife, and I feel like if I'm going to try to think about this as a video game, I should maybe think about, well, no. I can do the tried and true method of high charisma characters when dealing with physical combat. Have friends who can do the punching for you and talk people down so they don't want to punch you. I think that's probably the build we're going to go with. Because that's what happens when I play games, folks. I don't play punchy characters. All right, animals. Familiarity with xenofauna, hunting, and ranching. Okay, so wait. So this is stress, physical and mental exhaustion. Kudos, which can be turned in for things. Okay. This is the stuff that I was... Oh, look at that. Shortcuts. But that was what I was calling my inventory. Oh, character traits. C. That's that. Okay, cool. Got it. I will talk my way out of situations. I'll probably talk my way into a few. Let's be real. It's the best kind of character. Okay. It's interesting that you could stage a rebellion. I love rebellions, but this so far does not seem totalitarian enough to to trigger my intrinsic rebellious nature. However, she has come close. I'm not going to be your minion. I'm bored. This is boring, Mars complains, stamping her foot. All the adults want to do is work, and they're not paying attention to me. So I can either tell her about my day or not. I do not have points in persuasion. Man, how do you get so many points in anything so quickly? The only thing I have that many points in is empathy. Okay, well, it looks like I can't do anything with anyone because I don't have enough points to do anything with anyone. So I guess I have to pick what I'm going to do with my next month. I could do delivery stuff, which would probably actually help me make social contacts, which would be useful. I could go relax. Don't know that I need to do that yet. I wonder what that gives me. We haven't talked to Tangent yet. I want to talk to her. Maybe she's in here. Hold on. Okay, so I can register for engineering classes, which I can actually do. I do actually have high enough points for that. Yeah, I might as well do that. Using Congruence's HoloNet scheduling system is almost a test of its own. You feel like a hacker navigating the confusing interface, but manage to add your name to the list of drop-in students. Okay, good. So I don't have to be there. You're now eligible to join Tangent and some of the older students in engineering classes. I have unlocked study engineering and engineering. Sweet. Okay, so I guess I'm going to have to actually go to these locations and unlock things. If I have the ability to unlock things. I don't know how much I will have. The garrison. So I could play sports ball, which will raise my stress, raise my bravery and my toughness and my friendship with Anemone and my stress. No. I'm going to bounce around a bit. I just want to see what my options are. Okay. The greenhouse. The greenhouses have different biomes inside, growing plants from earth that might belong in a desert, jungle, or temperate forest. Some are so delicate you have to spray off any germs in an airlock before you can enter. The seasonal garden outside is dotted with blue nobodies. Interesting. Little flowers with what looks like wriggling creatures stuck inside each one. A sign explains it's a decoy made to attract some kind of flying predator to come pollinate the flowers. Interesting, okay. So I could shovel the dirt, make friends with Cal. That's why my dad likes Cal. He helps out over here. I can become tougher. I'll get a lot of kudos and I'll get stressed. Okay, this is good to know. I have to figure out, do I want to have a well-rounded character? No. Command. Apply. Need toughness 10 or greater or need organizing 10 or greater. I will have neither of those. Notice board. First annual, yes, second month of dust, we'll have a festival. Okay. Current council and administration. Governor Udicott command. Chief administrator Seek command. Security chief Rhett garrison. Chief engineer Instance engineering. Chief cultivator Flulu geoponics. That's my mom. Chief steward antecedent. Quarters. Antecedent. Okay, her name is just Antecedent. Chief Surveyor Melatonin Expeditions. Who called it? It is in fact Melatonin. Okay, these are characters I'll get to know over the course of this game. Okay, so I can't deliver supplies and I may never be able to. Well, that's all right. Let's see what's in here. The ship's quarters are where everyone sleeps, eats, and hangs out. The private bedrooms are small. You share one with your parents, so colonists spend most of their time in the big common area. There's a lounge and a cafeteria and a creche where all the little kids and babies are raised community. That's what I figured. Did I say serotonin and it's melatonin? Okay, I was close. Fair. I gave myself too much credit. All right, so if you hang out in the lounge, you make friends with Tammy, you completely lose all of your stress, and you can forget a memory that was traumatic. Okay. So those are all of my options. What do I want to do here? I kind of want to do more brain stuff. I want to do more empathy stuff, but I feel like that's going to come from interacting with people. So let's do some more school, and then I might need to take a rest. Okay, so I can study life sciences, biology, reasoning, friendship with tangent, and stress. I can study engineering, reasoning, friendship with tangent, and does that give me more stress? No, it's the same amount of stress. Or I can study more advanced humanities. That's how I get those points up. I do want to study engineering and I want to study humanities. Like, these are the two things. Like, I feel like studying engineering would probably be a good idea. But I want to build up my character in the humanities as well. But if I study in engineering, I will be hanging out with a character who's the one that I've destined to maybe be my friend. But we'll see. Or at least who I have a slight predisposition to being friends with. Although it says that my friendship with tangent will go up no matter what nerdy thing I do. Okay, do we do engineering or do we do humanities? I actually have more points in engineering right now than I do in this. And I feel like I'm drawn to the humanities. And I suspect that creativity and persuasion are going to be things that I'm going to need if I'm not putting points in toughness. Like, that's my guess from a gameplay perspective. So I'm going to do one more humanities and then I might do engineering the next time I do class. I feel like this one will give me an extra point in creativity. I want to study humanities, but it might be good to have both of these. We're going to do both of these. Sorry, Mom. I guess I don't care about life sciences. Study engineering, study humanities. I really want to do humanities. Okay, well, I'm going to do humanities. Study humanities. This month, you've decided to explore pre-holographic media on Earth, which is a pretty great excuse to kick back and watch movies all day. It's hard to believe that all movies used to be 2D. Boring. Feels too much like learning to be fun. Let's get to work. Okay. Oh. Okay. We're going to put this here. And that'll give me an extra. I think that's about as good as I'm going to be able to get. Let me try something here, actually. That's the same. Okay, so that does seem to be as good as I'm able to get. So it's a win. It's not a super crazy win, but it's still a win. Okay. I think I'm going to go with this. That's as much as I understand this. Victorious, you worked well this month. +1 creativity. Okay. So I gained some stress, gained some persuasion, gained more creativity for winning the challenge. But not for super winning the challenge. Oh, look at that! Did my portrait change? Huh. This week you had a few more bouts of deja vu, remembering what somebody's about to say or do just before they do it. Sometimes they actually do it, but not always. This morning you were sure Professor Hal was going to trip on the uneven floor in the cafeteria and spill his plate of hash browns. You even told Mars to watch. He didn't, though. As Professor Hal walked away, his hash browns safe for today, Mars called you a liar and a dummy. Look at the tentacle over there. It's interesting, the food is like familiar, but not quite. But it's very cafeteria. At night, your dreams are all mixed up with stuff you know can't be real. You're chased by monsters the size of buildings, only to be saved by strange people you've never met. You're holding hands with someone you love. You're crying as you help lift a shrouded body into the colony recycler. Everything seems so familiar, but when you try to recall their faces when you wake up, they're smeared in your memory like wet paint. Yeah, 'cause I don't recognize who this is. That's so interesting. But what if those things haven't happened yet, but they will someday? Anytime you try to tell someone, they think you're playing a trick, or that you're sick and need to go to medbay. You eventually decide to stay quiet about your strange dreams. Why? Either you don't want people to worry, you just want to be normal, or secret powers are fun. This one is just, it's not for me, okay. So I don't want people to worry, or I just want to be normal. I think I don't want my parents to worry. They've already got so much going on. They're already stressed. So I'm going to pick you don't want people to worry. Your parents have so much on their minds already. You have a feeling that something is happening at Geoponics that they don't want you to know. You don't understand it, but when they come home at night, they look really sad. You don't want to make that worse. I bet that I should be putting all of my points into that sort of thing, because then I'll be able to solve whatever's wrong when people start starving to death. I bet that's what's going to happen. I will try my best to be useful. If you just keep going to classes and staying out of trouble, it'll be easier for everyone, yourself included. Mid-quiet. Next month. Now it's late quiet. Oh man. Stress. I'm getting pretty stressed. Okay. Well, we can now talk to our friend out here. Okay. Yes, quiet is the name of this. So there's going to be quiet, dust, and I don't know if we've heard about the rest. All right, let's talk to our friend here. Hi, Tangent. Tangent is hunched over her hollow palm, frowning and poking angrily at the air. She speaks without looking up at you. Professor Howell wants us to prep a list of native flora with pictures. There should be a catalog on the colony holonet, but I can't find it anywhere. Well, they mentioned the wet season, but I don't remember if that's the name of the season. It might be. So I can say, plants tried looking outside, or I'll help you find that catalog, or let's make our own list. I don't think I'm equipped to make a list, but I can try to help her find the catalog. I have points in reasoning and engineering that I'm going to choose to believe will be useful here. We're going to give this a try. All right, I'll help you find that catalog. You launch your own holopalm and start searching the colony's HoloNet archives for a list of vertumnal plants and animals. 10 minutes later, you find it buried under survey logistics in the expeditions net. Haha! I gained a point in organizing, and I am more friends with Tangent. Good. Anemone passes by and pulls a face at the two of you. Hey, holo nerds, she shouts. School's over. Come play sports ball in the sunshine. Tange just rolls her eyes. Okay. Tangent sniffs the air. It stinks out here. Not just one stink either. Every day it's a new stink. Today it smells like... She wrinkles her nose. Like that time the waste reclamation unit broke down. Yuck! You haven't noticed the smell. She sure is sensitive, or maybe she just likes the stale air inside the ship better. Oh, hey, look, I can actually do one of these. Hooked on your holopalm. Need reasoning 20 or greater? Want to study together? Yeah, we'll do this. Might as well. You and Tangent sync your holopalms and play a game together where you race to assemble chemical compounds using a simple programming language. Tangent is a whiz at it and breezes through the levels, barely breaking a sweat. You can tell she's hiding a smile when she looks over your shoulder to help you with a particularly tricky algorithm. Oh, that's cute. She likes being able to explain this to me. So I gained a point in reasoning. That's good. And friendship with Tangent. Okay, good. All right. Well, that was satisfying. It's probably the only thing I have enough points in to do right now anyway. Okay. Anemone is running around the sports ball court, touching her hand to the ground at each corner. 18, she counts. 19. When she reaches 20, she collapses into the grass and checks her hollow palm. I'm training, she explains. My big bro Colm says I have to get my legs climatized to the planet if I'm going to be team captain like him. Yeah, I'm not going to train together with you. Sorry, honey. You're going to be... I can challenge you to eat a bug. Okay. Deese is sitting on the ground just outside the gate under the watchful eye of someone working in expeditions. We're just as stuck here as we were on the ship, he mumbles, but doesn't say anything else after that. Man. Oh, the door is open and there's somebody who looks really cool. Hello, Mom and Dad. Oh, and this is Cal, right? Cal is riding around the geoponics gardens on his hoverboard. The board comes to a sudden, shuddering stop on the rocky ground in front of you. Cal falls off but catches his balance before he eats dirt. Hi, Solana. Real ground is way harder to hover on than ship floors. There are bumps everywhere. So I can say, yeah, that sucks. Maybe hoverboards don't work outside, or we all have to adapt. Yeah, that sucks sounds sarcastic. So I'm going to ask, maybe hoverboards don't work outside? Oh, they totally do, Cal exclaims. I've been all over the place on this thing. Hovering outside is rad. Look at this. He runs over to a small depression in a nearby hill and presents it like it's something amazing. Look at this. It's a skate bowl. Oh my God. Okay, so I can either say, cool, can I try, or what now? I'm going to try it, and I'm going to probably hurt myself. Let's give it a go. Sure, but please be careful. Mom says if I break my hoverboard, we can't make another one. Okay. You take turns riding around the bowl, trying to get up enough speed, going down one side to come back up the other. You don't land any tricks. It's hard just staying on the board with this uneven ground, but it's still fun. Okay, I have a point in toughness. And 2 friendship with Cal. Okay, good. I will take it. What? 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 Robot with chicken feet? What? Where? Oh, yeah, that was the same little guy that was out watering the fields when I talked to Mom. Have you tried standing in mud yet? Cal asks you. It's the best, most amazing feeling I have ever felt. You look down, and sure enough, Cal's feet are bare and muddy as heck. Dirt and grass feel neat too, he continues. Sometimes the rocks hurt, but Mom says I'll build calluses. You should try it. Okay, so if I had points in biology, I could give him a fun nature fact, which would be great. But unfortunately, I do not have a fun nature fact in my brain. All right, let's see. Let's talk to Mom. Your mom? Okay. No, she's just here to answer questions. Unless something changes. No. Everything, this appears to be the same. All right. Okay, so when I talk to Dad, you can see the bot behind him when he moves out of the way. Your dad takes a big breath of air. Ah, this is real living, he says grandly. Sometimes I wake up thinking we're still hurtling through space on the Strato, and I'm just so jazzed when I remember we're here, on a real planet. He slaps you on the back. Never take this for granted, kiddo. Man, if you can get points for just having conversations with people, I will do that. Oh, let's see what Bratty McBratterson has to say. She's probably... Maybe she'll grow up to be okay. Ugh, I have all these kudos and nowhere to spend them yet, Mars says, sighing. Seek says the depot store won't be open till next year. How am I supposed to show off how much better and harder worker I am than everyone else? Harder working. She's really not the most likable character in the game. Oh, I want my empathy to go up so I can do this. Tammy has barely left the safety of the ship's quarters and lounge since you landed. She's looking fearfully out from the doorway. I'm afraid of outside, she admits plainly with no trace of shame. My dad says I need to take baby steps and that it's okay if I approach things at my own pace. We'll do a random act of kindness for her just as soon as we can, but it might take a minute because my empathy is, what is it now? It's only at 11. Well, it's okay. I've got some time. Yeah, it's taking a while. I'm good at reasoning. I'm going to be good at engineering. So maybe I can engineer my way out of whatever horrible problem is going to be happening over here. I'm going to need to rest, actually. Because I'm almost at a state of physical and mental exhaustion. I might have to rest. I think we're going to have to do this. Let's do that. Because I kind of think it's necessary at this point for me to become less stressed. So I was good. I did school even though I'd had head trauma. I did school, but I'm going to take it easy. Going to relax in the lounge. It's nice to take some time off to chill after all the stress of school and work, not to mention the mental toll of just living on this unpredictable planet. Looks like you're not the only one who needs some downtime. Some of the other kids are also relaxing in the lounge. Okay, so I could either approach Mars and Dees, Cal and Tammy, or I can sit alone with my holopalm and get another point, another big holopalm card. But as much as having more cards would be great, I think I want to befriend Cal and Tammy a bit more. Like, Mars and Dees, I cannot imagine they are getting along. I suspect this is probably going to be them kind of at each other's throats, is my prediction. Maybe not. But I don't have much friendship with either of them to begin with. And I don't know what I can do about that. I do want to try to get Dees to not be a jerk to his sister. But I don't know if I have the capacity to do that. Card or friendship, which would I choose? Yeah, I mean, a card will be useful. But I'm going to go join Cal and Tammy and see what's up with that. Also, because I could probably stand having some friends who have physical strength. Although I get the feeling that little sports ball girl, Anemone, is probably going to be the person who's the guard type. She's going to go into security. So, all right, well, we'll join Cal and Tammy. Cal is braiding Tammy's long hair and weaving in strands of little colored baubles. This one's called a waterfall braid, I think, he says. I saw it in an archive vid, but it's really tricky. Oh, that's cute. He's doing a terrible job of it. His short, clumsy fingers getting all tangled in the strands. Oh, man, I don't quite have enough points in creativity. How many points do I have in creativity? I have 7. That's not even close to 15. So I can either say I'll do Cal's hair or I can tease them. I'm going to say I'm going to do Cal's hair. There we go. Yes! You sit behind him as he sits behind her, like a mini conga line. You braid some short strands of Cal's hair, putting one of the little baubles at the end of each one. He finishes Tammy's hair. It's almost recognizable as a waterfall braid, then touches his own braids and giggles. Now we'll do yours, they shout in unison. You jokingly try to escape, but Cal sits on your legs while Tammy gives you a beautiful braid. Oh, that's cute. Okay. I like that. That's really wholesome. Granted, this is very simple, and the other two are both much more complex characters, so there'd probably be a complicated thing happening there, but I'm just like, how could you possibly have that many points in things already? What have I done wrong? Done. Relaxing. You took the month off. Do I want to forget my absorbent brain? No thanks. My first steps? No, I don't need to forget any of those. I'm going to keep my cards. Okay, good. Now I can do lots of work before I start getting stressed out again. Okay. Keep your memories? Yes. I don't know any reason why I would want to forget those. So. Late, quiet, turning into early pollen. Oh, yeah, the snow's all are gone and everything is pink and the music is pretty. And look at how excited my character is. Oh, there's an eggie. You find a hefty red Xeno egg. Okay, that's what finding things is like. Yeah, I figure I'll get rid of some of the cards once I have more cards to choose from. Oh, I didn't go down and talk to this person last time before I went in. Okay. All right. Expeditions. You step cautiously through the colony gates. Hey there, kiddo. Uncle Tonin blocks your way with a smile. I'm afraid expeditions is off limits for now. It's not safe out there for kids. You'd better toughen up so you can join the squads when you're older. So I can be tough enough or brave enough. I am neither of those things. View the map, view the bestiary early. Let's view the map. An info window pops up on your holopalm when you get closer. What do you want to know about the prosaic plains, the Valley of Vertigo? Oh, good. Nearby, subaqueous swamp or resting ridges. Let's look at the prosaic plains. The prosaic plains lie far to the north of the colony, where the higher elevation and natural tilt of the planet makes bromidic snow fall more regularly in every season. Though prone to sudden storm flurries, the plains are a relatively safe place to explore, filled with mostly herbivorous xenofauna. The Valley of Vertigo. That's going to be, I guess, actually, I don't know. The Valley of Vertigo is a low-lying trench to the east that's dense with pollen-producing trees. There's a wide variety of edible food here, both plant and animal product, leading to some of the explorers calling this place the bread basket of Vertumna. There are a number of animals here that geoponics would be interested in domesticating. Interesting. So these are things we could do something with when we're high enough level and old enough and stuff. Okay, the Western Resting Ridge. That's a tongue twister. This tongue-twisting region, thank you, is the broken spine of the planet, home to both dizzying heights and abyssal lows. It's always hot and arid here no matter the season. Traversing these steep chasms is dangerous and only to be done by those with sufficient glider training. However, there are some interesting ruins here to explore. So does that mean somebody lived here before? Subaqueous swamp. To the south is a vast boggy wilderness, home to dangerous animals and hazardous weather conditions. Exploration in this area is only to be done with extreme caution. Okay. Probably ought to leave it alone then. Let's view the bestiary. And yeah, this music is great. I'm really enjoying this. He is adorable. This is the scared little girl's dad. I guess she's also got pink hair and elfy ears. Let's see the bestiary. Float cow, hop eye, and manticore. Oh, goody. Goody, goody, goody. Float cow. Xenolevis bovidae. These cumbersome-looking creatures are actually lighter than air due to large helium sacs on dorsal and ventral sides. Careful balancing of helium and urine allows them to control their elevation. They produce a salty, high-protein, milky substance for feeding their young that is also nutritious for humans. Yum. Hop-eye. A communal creature with two disparate sets of eyes and one strong foot, used for both locomotion and defense. Though harmless, these small warriors can be fierce in groups. I guess I'm going to have to fight those guys if I go and do fight things. Manticore. Xenophilus tyrannus. Highly intelligent and predatory. Their plumage changes according to the season. Their body is composed almost entirely of dangerous weapons. Do not approach. So they must be cats. Xenophilus tyrannus. So they're like... They're alien cat monsters. Keep Hawkeye away from spinach. Yes. Okay, well, I will not be going out there, but that's fine. I like the sounds here. Okay. Oh, Cal is crouched beside a big puddle, staring into his reflection. It's just so amazing, don't you think? On the Strato, we could only have very short showers, and we had to reuse the same water over and over, he continues. But here, water just falls out of the sky and then lies around in puddles. Lakes, even. It's a whole thing. A happy watering bot trundles by. I was going to say, I found something you might like. Yes, let's see what he has to say about this. Oh, these are collectibles. +1 to a card. Change the suit. Okay, let me see what else I can do with that card, because I might be able to show it to my dad. No. You spot your dad catching a break inside the geoponic stones. He takes a huge glug from his canteen, then upends the rest over his face. Whew, he exclaims. Wish I could take my eyes out of my head, wash them off, and pop them back in. He laughs at the look at on your face. Too gross? Too gross. Sorry, kiddo, this pollen is just so itchy. Yeah, allergies. Okay, nothing new for Mom, I assume. I'm just talking to everybody before I give the card in case there's something else I can do with the card. Okay, so yeah, I can give the card to different kids. Okay. Oh, this is how you win them over. You give them presents they think they might like. Have you gone outside the colony yet? Tange asks you. I hear all sorts of terrible things. Regardless, we're not allowed to stray from the gates unless we're on expedition. Tange rolls her eyes. Not that it stops my brother. I don't know that she would be into the egg. Deese is listening to his hear speak, completely ignoring you. You put yourself in his field of vision and he scowls. What do you want? Leave me alone. Okay. Like, she'd be excited about the egg. She's not going to be excited about the egg. Hey, hoi, Solana, Mars says, looking you up and down with a sneer. Your shoes are gross. That's what you get for walking around in the dirt out there. She sniffs. Not me. I'm sticking to the ship until they pave over all that icky mud. You wonder if maybe she's scared of more than just getting dirty. I don't think she'll like the egg. I think Cal is probably the right person to give the egg to. Okay, so I want to get rid of some of my memories so that I can pull better cards. Got it. Gear. Xeno egg. Gifts or one-use items. Okay, so I could use those as a gift. Like, I want to be friends, to continue being friends with this kiddo. But I think of all of these kids, the one that that's gonna most enjoy the egg. I feel like that's a Cal thing. Like, Anemone would be excited about it. But I don't know. I'm gonna give this to Cal. It feels like a thing that Cal would appreciate. I don't know. Cal runs up to you, streaked from foot to neck with purple dirt. There's so much space. Me and Anemone just ran for 20 minutes, and we never ran down the same path twice. He leans over and braces his hands on his knees, breathing heavily. Hooey! She's so fast. I feel like he'd be excited about the egg. And I don't know that anybody else... I mean, Anemone would be. I don't know. I'm making friends with Cal. I do want to be friends with most of them. Let's see what happens. We'll give him the Xeno egg. Okay, I lost the collectible, but gained friendship. Oh, Anemone likes those. Okay. Is that an alien egg? Cal exclaims. Wow, I wonder what's inside it. If it's still warm, maybe we can hatch it. He lifts it up and scrutinizes it. Anemone's always talking about wanting to eat a big old alien egg, he says. If this one's not fertilized, I'll give it to her. Yeah, everyone but Mars. I don't know what I said. Okay, so I should have given it to Anemone. Well, now I know. If I find an eggie, I give it to Anemone. It's fine. Or maybe in my next playthrough when I encounter it, I'll know what I'm doing. Okay, so... I could help Mom and Dad out, but I'm really enjoying... Like, working on the brain stuff seems like a good use of my time. So... I don't have anything for her. Okay. My reasoning is not high enough for me to study with her. smart for my age. Amazing. Okay, let's go through and do some more school. I guess I should study engineering. I don't want to study life sciences. I feel like that would be a better idea. Let's study engineering and see what happens. Okay, we're going to study engineering. Professor Hal rubs his hands together as he waits for the class to settle down. He's in a great mood. This must be his favorite subject to teach. Okay. All right. Never mind, I misjudged him. He uses the computer to help him, but it's not because he doesn't know this. Okay. If biology and chemistry are the wet sciences, then engineering must be a dry one. But believe me, this class definitely won't be dry. He winks. It's weird. We'll also be learning math, physics, computing, robotics, architecture, and astronomy. That's a lot of useful stuff, actually. Tangent raises her hand. Oh, good. Will we also learn about nuclear engineering? She asks. Professor Hal nods. Yes, at a beginner level. We'll have an overview of atomic theory and take a field trip to the engine rooms to learn how our ship's nuclear reactor works to power the colony. Interesting. All right. Oh, look at this. Looking for more difficulty, this harder card challenges option will keep you on your toes. Want to focus on the story? This will replace future minigames with a quick coin flip based on your age and skills. You can change either option anytime from the settings menu. This is a great feature. This is fantastic. I am very, very pleased that they've given this option because story mode, like if you're just playing this for the visual novel aspects, ta-da! You don't have to worry about this. However, okay, my goal is 10. I don't think I'm going to be able to do so much with that, but I'm going to try. Okay, giggling. Absorbent brain. Discovering. And then this one. Oh, I made it! Okay, good. I wasn't sure I was going to. If you have card game brain poison, then you can absolutely do that. I am not a card game person, but I think I'm doing okay. I can see now why I would want to get rid of some of my zeros. So, let's do it. All right, well, I will keep that in mind, but for now, the card game doesn't seem too complicated. So I'm going to win this. Oh, I got some kudos. Oh, look at that. I got a lot of points in engineering. That's good. Some reasoning. Okay, so apparently my absorbent brain really helps with engineering in particular. Well, that's interesting. So I guess that probably means that if I'd gotten a different perk, my social skills might be going up faster, but that's fine. All right, we're done with that. Oh, you wake from an afternoon nap. Okay, so these weird, creepy dreams are going to continue happening. Oh, wait, never mind. You squint into the pink-tinged light slanting through the windows. You must have fallen asleep in the lounge. Tammy's shadow falls across your nest of pillows. Oh, I'm sorry, Solana, she says, giggling. I didn't mean to wake you up. It's just so nice outside with pollen sparkling in the sunlight. I wanted to open the windows. You rub your eyes blearily. Ugh, you are having the weirdest dream. Since you're awake, you should visit the cafeteria. Auntie Sedent is making a new kind of candy. She says it's made of cotton. Isn't that weird? I have to go tidy the creche first. Then I'll meet you there. Save some for me, okay? All right, let's go get some cotton candy. Tammy skips off towards the creche, humming to herself. Okay, go get that free candy, or I don't want any candy. I'm going to go get that free candy. Yeah, I'm going to go get that candy. I don't think it being free should be a thing. Like, I don't know that they've got money here. Nothing here has indicated money. Also, I should have paid more attention to what I was dreaming of, as I don't remember. I feel like it was like a version of like the pink outside, but I don't know. Well, let's go get some candy. Well, nothing happened here. In the cafeteria, oh my gosh, she's pretty. Auntie Sedent is cheerfully handing out masses of pink candy, puffed puffy and soft like clouds. Oh, Solana, she says, handing you a wand with some candy spun around the end. Here, try some of this. We used to have it on Earth. You pull off a piece and give it a taste. It's so sweet at first that your mouth puckers. You've never tasted anything so sweet and so real. It's not at all like the soy sweets that the kitchen nano printer can make. It melts in your mouth, leaving a gritty residue on your tongue. Yeah, no, she's super pretty. And she's got kind of like a mermaid seashell thing going on with the earring there. I do really like the outfits. They're fairly practical, but with like personal decorations. You wait until everyone is gone, but Tammy never shows up. You look down at the cotton candy in your hands. It's wilted a little from the humidity, but it's kind of like her hair, you think. Pale pink and so soft. You keep some to give her later. Yeah, it's getting like all weird and dreamy again. You're relaxing in your family's quarters after dinner. Your mom had to run off in some kind of council business, so you and your dad are playing a hollow game together. When you're just about ready to head off to bed, your mom returns. You can tell from the defeated slant of her shoulders that something has gone terribly wrong. Your dad starts to ask her what's happened, but she waves him away and approaches you. Oh my God. She sits down and takes your hand, holding it between her two strong, dirt-creased ones. Solana, I'm sorry to have to tell you this, she starts. Her mouth quivers as she swallows, working on her next words. There was an accident this afternoon, in the crush. Your classmate Tammy has died. How? You try to understand her words. Tammy dead? That's not possible. You suddenly remember the cotton candy you were saving to give Tammy, pink and fluffy just like her hair. You put your hand in your pocket to get it, but what comes out is a sticky, dark red lump of hard goo. You stare at it, your mind blank. Well, let's ask what happened. They killed a child in this game. Okay, all right. That tells me something about this. All right. Well, ask what happened. She's the one who's been so scared to take risks. I wonder if you have a high enough friendship with her, if you can go in there and keep her company and keep whatever it is from happening. I can see the urge to replay this game to try to prevent bad things from happening. Like, that's what this seems like to me. This seems like a game in which you try to figure out the best way to keep bad things from happening. That's like a time loop. But you're starting off as children. Ask what happened. Your mom tells you, as simply as possible, that Tammy was killed by an electric shock from a broken hollow projector. It was just an accident. You press her for more, for an explanation. A little girl is dead, someone you'd grown up with, someone so much like you. She wasn't sick or anything. You just saw her this morning. She was right there. Why? Your mom's eyes are sad when she tells you, sometimes there's just no reason why. You aren't used to dealing with death and you don't know what you're supposed to say or do. You sort of mumble okay, then get changed and crawl into bed a full hour before your bedtime. You try to fall asleep, but you toss and turn for hours. You eventually drift off to fitful dreams of that small, sticky red lump of cotton candy. Whew. Okay, well, this game is going to kill characters. That is going to happen. It is entirely possible that the entire colony could die horribly. I'm pretty sure that is the way the world here is. Next month, from mid-pollen to late pollen. The music has changed a little. Oh, that's her dad. He's got no one left. And Cal was close friends with her. It's funny because it does feel like this like sweet little game as you're running around like a kid like this. But the consequences are pretty heavy. Yeah, that was pretty rough pretty early on. I was hoping there would be things that would, you know, like you feel like it's going to build, like stories are going to build to the thing that's hard and heavy and scary, you know? And at this point, like, we don't know the characters so well that it's super emotionally affecting. But there's a feeling of wrongness. And I want to keep going for a little bit. Do you mind? We got off to a bit of a late start. So. Alright. Let's talk to Cal. This is going to be hard. He was really really good friends with her. And now, like that's the friend that's the kid who seems like she's safest, you know? She's not running out into the dangerous landscape like Deese. It does feel like this should be fixed. I should be able to fix this. But let's see what happens. Cal. Cal is sitting in your mom's flower garden with his face in his hands. He's clearly been crying all morning and probably all of yesterday too. He and Tammy were really close. Whenever you guys used to play house in the creche, Tammy was always the mommy and Cal was the daddy. Even though you were just little kids, you kind of always giggled about how obviously they were going to be together forever, like a princess and a knight. So I can either say, are you okay, or I miss her too. I think I miss her too gives him permission to talk about how he's feeling and makes him feel not alone. So I think I'm going to pick that option. At least you finally left your quarters. You have cold options you can give. Yeah, I'm going to say I miss her too. Me too, he sniffs, looking up at you. You can see how puffy and red his eyes are. Me really, really too. Tammy always liked these flowers, he mumbles. Sometimes I picked some for her. He runs his hands over the pretty white flowers. Don't tell your mom, okay? Tears well up and slowly leak out of his eyes. He doesn't even blink, just stares at the flowers as the tears run down his cheeks. You decide to give him some space. Maybe if I did the right thing, I could help him feel better, but there's only so much better you can be with something like that. Alright, Mars, do you have something bitchy to say? Or will you be decent about this? Okay. Mars is staring into space, looking somber. Oh, they were friends, that's right. She doesn't even notice as you come up beside her, and barely reacts when you say hello. I'm thinking about Tammy, she says quietly. She used to sit down the hill there in that spot in the sun. Every morning she'd just sit there for hours in the sun doing nothing. Just being happy. You stare down the hill to the spot near the entrance to the quarters. You can imagine her there, working on some little craft project, humming to herself. So I can either say, I miss her too, or she was so nice to everybody. I feel like with her, it's better to compliment Tammy. Because this is her friend, but also she doesn't like the spotlight being on other people. She does not want to hear about somebody else's pain when she's in her own pain, I don't think. So I'm going to choose, she was so nice to everybody. And now she's dead, Mars says, making a face. How's that for fair? Of all the people, how come it had to be my friend? You don't have an answer. You've never heard Mars call Tammy her friend before. But of course she was. Tammy was everyone's scared little sister, even though she was older than most of you. It's funny how that age works. Mars clicks her tongue. Oh, yeah. Administrator Seek is looking for you. I guess they need someone to do delivery jobs. She waves vaguely at the door behind her, distracted by her thoughts. I don't think they're going to give that to me. I don't think I have the points for it. Yeah. Well, so much for a sweet, fun, light time. Can you believe Tammy died? Deese asks morbidly. I heard Chief Engineer Instance tell somebody about it. He lowers his voice. Tammy got shocked by a broken hollow projector. The one in the creche with the dancing teddy bear, you remember? When she touched it, she got chucked all the way around the room. He makes a sailing motion with his hand. And bam! She was dead before she even landed. Ew isn't the right word. Oh man, okay. If I want to befriend this kid, I have to indulge his morbid. They did talk about his morbid curiosity. And you're like, "Oh, how bad can that be? He'll like gross things or something like that." But he's talking about like this kid dying. And like if I were to gamify this and be like, "What's the best way to make friends with people? What's the best way to get characters to like me?" Being interested like this is the sort of thing that would make him like me more. But I cannot in good conscience pick that option. It does not fit the character and it does not fit me. You know? So I'm going to go with, ew, I didn't want to know that. Ew isn't the right word, but I didn't want to know that is right. Oh, sorry, Deese replies, tugging at the sleeves of his oversized jacket. I'll shut up now. Sorry. Ugh, Deese is so weird. Oh, he's embarrassed. He feels bad about that. Okay. So he was just thinking about the facts of it. It's not that he doesn't care. He's just, he can simultaneously care and find the situation interesting. Okay. That actually changes how I think about the way he reacts to things. A little late to do anything with him. I think he probably won't like me very much. But yeah, he just has a slightly different way of engaging with the world. That doesn't mean he doesn't care and he doesn't have feelings. Okay, done. Sorry, kiddo. Anemone is chucking rocks at the strato, sending metallic clangs ringing through the colony. Stupid planet, she yells. Stupid crash. Stupid spaceship. She bends down to pick up another rock, but instead just sobs and braces her hands on her knees. Stupid everything. Why'd she have to die? It's not fair. Kids aren't supposed to die. Yeah, no, stories say kids aren't supposed to die. And these are such like very real and human reactions to things that it makes it hurt worse. Tange is pacing around in front of engineering. She looks upset. It shouldn't have happened, she says. What happened to Tammy? It shouldn't have been possible. There was no reason for that hollow projector to break. Professor Hal said it was recently serviced and nothing was wrong with it before. It just, she gestures angrily, just blew up for no reason. Nobody would have wanted to hurt her, so why? How? It doesn't add up. Sorry, Solana. I want to think about this some more. I hate when I can't find the answer. Man, oh man, oh man. These are some messed up kiddos. Well, let's go talk to her dad. Look at how sad he is. You step cautiously through the colony gates. Solana. Uncle Tonin sighs as he blocks your path. He looks like he hasn't been sleeping. I'm sorry, but you shouldn't be out here. Our children are so young and so precious. So fragile. Please stay near the ship. Okay. Yeah. Your dad gives you a hug. Sorry you're feeling blue, Solana, he says. Things will start to look up again soon. Your mom pats your shoulder encouragingly. I'm so sorry, Solana. Yeah, they're neither one of them is like the greatest at emotions. Well, I could go and rest, but she's not there, and that seems wrong. So I think the thing to do is going to be to study engineering so we can figure out what went wrong and make sure it never happens again. That's the option. Either that or the humanities to learn how to process grief. Yeah, let us figure out how to make sure that that never happens again. That feels like the right thing to do. I'm going to do that. Study engineering. Oh, I'm not going to be able to make it. This first is the first one I'm going to fail, I think. I do not have enough. I do not have enough. Oh, there's a tutorial. Oh, hold on. Wait. Wait a minute. They don't have to be in order, do they? Ah, okay. All right. For some reason, I thought that they had to be in order, but they don't, actually, as it turns out. That makes it a little bit easier. And yeah, no, Blue Glass, it is, they're not making it okay. They're making it, they're allowing you to sit in the shock of what has happened with the characters who are sitting with the shock of what has happened. It's very effective writing. All right. I'm good at engineering. I did not gain as much from reasoning because I am in the morning status. Yeah. That's fair. This is that background that was blurry earlier. The colony is going to hold a funeral for Tammy. Do you want to attend? If you don't feel up to it, you could just skip it and take the month off instead. Or you could get back to work. You could say, yes, I'll attend. No, I want to grieve by myself. No, I'm too busy. Or Tammy who? No, I'm going to attend. That's the thing to do. I have enough friends here. At the very least, I have to try to support them. So let's try this and see what happens. Okay, we'll try this. Yes, I'll attend. The colonists gather in the recycling room. Bringing organics down to be recycled here is one of your chores, but you've only come down here for a funeral twice. Both times, a colonist had passed away from natural causes during the 20-year-long journey from Earth. This is the first time there's been a funeral on Vertumna, and the first time for someone you actually knew. Okay, so the idea here, I think, is that there are more characters beyond the ones that we see and know. So you're saying this is in mourning? Yes, you're mourning the loss of a loved one. All skill increases reduced by 1 for 3 months, and sub-jobs and actions can't be performed. Okay, this is a thing that can happen again. Good to know. But yeah, no, they do a good job. I think the characters that we know are the characters that my character has a relationship with. But there is a bigger colony than just this. The mouth of the organics recycler has been polished, and a wreath of yellow flowers placed over the opening. Inside, you can see a shrouded figure, Tammy's small, fragile body. Tammy's dad, Uncle Tonin, is here, as well as your parents and Auntie Sedent and the rest of the council. Cal is here with his mom and her partners, already crying in their arms. The room is packed with people, and the feeling of grief is so thick you can taste it in your mouth. Governor Udicott stands before the assembled crowd. There are no words to ease the pain we feel today, she begins solemnly. There is only the sad company of those of us left behind to share the burden of that grief. Tammy was our child, she continues, one of the first humans to be born in space, and the first to die on an alien planet. In her short life, she exemplified the very arc of human accomplishment, bending hopefully towards life beyond our humble earth. She is the first of us who can truly call Vertumna home. Her passing was as senseless as it was sudden. Losses like this are impossible to hold within oneself, a painful reminder that life is impossibly precious and fragile. But they also remind us, as always, that as a community we are capable of great strength. Udicott closes the door to the recycler. You hear Uncle Tonin sob over the hum of the particle disintegrators beginning their work. As a community, we remember Tammy. As a community, we return her body to the soil that nourishes us. In this way, Tammy, our child from the stars, will never truly be lost to us. The ceremony is adjourned, but a few people stay back to console Uncle Tonin as he keeps vigil over the recycler. Cal and Uncle Tonin hold each other and weep openly. Your mom stays behind to receive Tammy's remains. As the head of geoponics, she'll be responsible for adding them to the colony's precious supply of brown soil from Earth. Your dad accompanies you out of the recycling room. He clears his throat. I want you to know that you don't need to be okay, he says, clasping his warm hand on your shoulder. If you want to take the rest of the month off, everyone's going to understand. I don't think I cannot take the rest of the month off. I think my stress levels require it, but it's going to be strange to be there without her there. That is where Tammy goes. Let's take the month off. Mid-pollen into late pollen. Okay, maybe I'll read the other Wayfarers books than Chrono, because this is more my jam than that one was. Okay. The prospect of just going back to school like everything is normal is too much to handle. You end up spending the whole month alternating between sleeping, scrolling the HoloNet, and staring into space. It's restful, at least, and everyone gives you the time you need to process Tammy's death. Early dust. Next month. Okay, so this is the hot and dry summery season. Let's just see what's going on. So everybody has their places that they go to. All right, how's it going, Tange? Solana, Tangent says, approaching you with purpose. We need to discuss my brother. So I can either say who, Dis, or you mean my buddy Dis? Dish. I guess it's supposed to be Dis. Okay, let's see what's up. Yes, Dis, she says impatiently. I need you to figure out where he's been disappearing. Ever since we landed, I barely see him anymore. He doesn't even come home at night sometimes, and She trails off and looks at her feet. Well, I'm not on very good terms with my brother of late, but people are becoming worried. You get the feeling Tang is the one who's worried, but she doesn't want to admit it. So I can either say I'll talk to him or I'll find out. I don't know that talking to him is going to get me the answer, unfortunately. I think I might have to find this out. I'll find out. I don't know if this is the right answer, but I think this is the answer that she will relate to the most. Thank you, Solana, she says, looking relieved for a second before her expression hardens again. I mean, it would be a ridiculous waste of resources if something happened to him and no one knew where he was or how to find him. Right, of course. Tange doesn't get worried. Of course not. Okay, so they have, like, passive things they say. Anemone runs up to you. Hi, Solana, she huffs, catching her breath. She grins. On the ship, adults are always saying, no running, Anemone, no running. But outside, there's so much room. I can run for 5 minutes in one direction. Even more after the roboplows clear the land for farms. Okay. Hey, Cal. Cal is scratching a stick listlessly in the dirt, seemingly uninterested in your presence until you get right in his face. Oh, hey, Solana, he says, mustering up a hollow smile. Sorry, I don't really feel like playing today. I'm sure that there are ways all of the kids can die. It does seem like that, but I don't know. They've all got somebody. I don't know. Okay. Mars is back to normal. I guess I should probably shut down. But let me go talk to Dis. I guess his name is Dis. Or we could shut down. I can save. Oh, you can change music. Ah. So we could actually retry things. We could save and load things if we wanted to. I think we're supposed to do that. But I have not been doing that so far. Okay, we have saved. Yes, we should probably stretch. That's a good idea. This is a very good game. And I hope that some of you... Yeah, save loading maybe on subsequent runs. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I'm really interested in this game and super glad I'm playing it. It is not at all. I thought it was going to be more like a funny, quirky, like teenagers hanging out on a spaceship or something like that. I don't know. I guess it would be a colony. But I did not predict this at all. It is very different and it's really interesting. So we will look forward to playing more of this game. If I can figure out how to close it. Okay, well, I will go ahead and leave it on its sleep screen. So we're supposed to start Aiden on Thursday. And I will keep playing as much as I can. Just to warn you folks, in case you haven't been keeping up with all of the things. Due to my health and things like that, I have been taking, like, I'm afraid I will probably need to start taking off more streams than I have in the past. And I've got some travel coming up, so there may be days that I don't stream, but I'm going to try to keep forward and not have big old chunks that I don't stream, and just kind of do my best. But I appreciate your patience, and I'll try to keep folks posted on whether we're streaming or not at any given week, at any given day. Thank you all so much for being here and for your patience. And I will see you all maybe Thursday or maybe next Tuesday. Good night. Bye.